Welcome to Collider Live. It is Thursday. That's right, it's Thursday. And it's August 8th. And I'm your host, Dorina Arellano. No, I'm not.
Bienvenidos.
I am Mark Reilly, sitting in for Christian Harloff, who Roxy Striar sat in yesterday, who Josh Bakuga sat in the other day. And tomorrow, maybe, you will be sitting in for someone, right, Dorina?
Changing the name to Collider Dead for Friday tomorrow. Yes.
Dorina texted me yesterday and was like, I want to host. I was like, I'm hosting. And then maybe Friday. She's like, and then she walked in today and went, I want to host.
Yeah.
You do?
But I do, but I don't. I'm lazy too. So I'm good with whatever.
So,
I'll do it if you guys want me to, but I don't really care. It was mostly because the fans kept asking me.
I know. So without further ado.
Am I doing it?
No. You can't.
You already introed it.
No,
you
I know.
already ruined my intro, Mark.
I stole the thunder because...
Wow.
They gave you the womp
What was that, Cody?
Here's what happened there, guys.
That was the greatest soundbite of all time. I felt like I was on Rule of Two, but also Collider Live.
So-
and it was a smashing of universes that come together.
Here's the deal. I got the Collider Live intro and the Rule 2 intro in the same playlist. So I lowered it down to play the wow, wow, wow soundbite, and the other one is still playing. That's what happened.
Well,
Thursday.
that was magic, Cody.
So we're going to talk about the theory that Rey is actually Shmi Skywalker. And so thank you for Rule of Two tuning into... No, that's not right.
And we're all Snoke.
And we're all Snoke.
Yes.
So without further ado, yes, Dorina is here. How are you today?
I'm good. I missed you guys, as always.
We miss
I'm
you.
happy to see Roxy and Jay here, so I don't get to see them as often.
That's right. And making a return, Jay Washington. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm just here for Dorina. Like,
Yeah.
This is something special right here.
Roxy too, right?
And
Yeah,
I love that
Roxy
Roxy is here on a Thursday. Who we've had some, people are out of town, and obviously with Christian and everything. And Roxy said, I'll come in Thursday, and I'm like, I love you, Roxy.
I love you
You
too,
just
Mark.
slapping the shit out this desk already.
Yeah.
I have so many thoughts right now, guys.
What's your
Roxy,
thoughts?
what's going on with you?
No, it's not even that. I'm just thinking, first of all, we have 2 women and a black guy on the show right now.
Oh,
That's
the
crazy.
Yo, the YouTube comments about to be like, hold on, what is happening?
It is a momentous
And
occasion.
then you were
so-
talking about hosts giving the show over to Dorina. They're like, oh my God, we can't handle this.
Yeah, I know.
This is bullshit.
People are like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Let's
Can't
go
do it.
on. Let's go
What's
on.
going on here?
It's already thumbs down. Like,
Yeah.
One of us is Mexican. We just lost some viewers,
Oh, there's a black guy. Oh my God, he's gonna
Don't
talk
worry.
about race.
Don't
Jew,
worry,
a
I'm
black
white.
guy, and a
I'm
Mexican
here.
walk into a restaurant.
I'm here. Keep going.
Mark's like, I'm still here representing you
I'm
guys.
representing you guys, I swear, and I like Star Wars.
Don't worry, guys.
Oh, wait, I don't. I don't
better
like
make sure
Star Wars.
You better make
I
sure you
forget.
know which Star Wars you
We
like.
should make
Which
a
one
poll.
is it today?
Oh,
We should make a poll.
Okay.
Should Mark Reilly like Star Wars or not?
Oh, don't do that.
Oh,
don't
please
do that.
don't do that.
Don't do that.
Dorian,
specifically
do
The
not
Last
post that
Jedi.
do not post that poll.
Sorry. And when I said I had so many thoughts, that was really my only one.
Well, let's expand
Just
on it,
so
shall
good,
we?
Yeah.
That was my only thought was a Jew, a Mexican, and a black guy walk into a room. There's a white guy sitting behind a microphone. What could happen? This is like an Instagram fail waiting to go on.
I know,
But
right?
also, going back to Dorina hosting the show tomorrow, I think that you would crush Dorina. I think you should
you.
absolutely do it.
Yeah.
But I will put this caveat there. Know that no matter what happens, when you start doing that, you get more hate. One
You're
way
gonna
or the other. So,
Right.
you have to, you're going to kill it, and the people who understand life are going to love you.
Right.
But the people who don't,
Who understand life?
yeah, but the people who don't are just gonna the best thing about your position on the show right now is that it's everybody loves you. So if you
No.
want to, yes, everybody loves you.
Some of
so if
them
you
do.
don't want to botch that, then you just got to stay as under the radar as
Right.
possible.
In other
Under the
words,
table is
in
my
other
favorite.
words, in the live chat right now, there's at least 3s. Who is this broad? Who is this broad? You already know they're always in the live chat. Like, who is this broad?
but I think you should do it anyway because I think you'll crush.
No, I mean, I'll do it if you guys want me to.
I
But
say
at
you
the
do
same
it.
time, we all get hate no matter what we do.
Yes.
If I tweet that there's a dog shitting on my porch, they're like, that's offensive to my dog shitting on my porch.
It
So
is
it doesn't
offensive.
matter.
I was pissed too.
Oh,
I
well,
get that.
I'm the dude that tells you, if you're going to tweet me hateful shit, please know I'm the right one.
Yeah.
I will go back at you. I give
That's sometimes my favorite thing about you, Jay. It's like I can't remember the nonsense on Twitter, but there was someone causing a stink and blah 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 hit you up.
They were at the premiere the Collider, you guys were at the premiere.
That's right. It was bringing back the old shill. It
Yeah,
was like,
bring
look at
back
these
the shit.
shills.
And I was like, shut your dumb ass
Yeah.
up.
You're such a Collider shill.
Man, I told people I meant
Really,
to get for
Jay.
Comic-Con. I'll do it for the next one. I'm getting a T-shirt that says #Marvel Shield.
Yeah.
And on the back of it says "Kiss my whole ass."
Yeah.
Like,
All of it.
Not asshole.
no, just my whole
Whole
ass.
ass.
Good. Well,
But
yeah.
you know what I realized though, guys, honestly, I used to say back, go F yourself to trolls.
Yeah.
And now what I've been doing is just talking to them. I've been
Yeah.
like, okay, so you think that you think I'm dumb for hating Infinity War even though I like Endgame. You like Infinity War, that's fine. Like, that's cool, man. I don't think you're dumb. And then they're just like, oh, I didn't mean to be mean, like, or sorry. Like, they get so freaked out because you don't attack them back. You just
Right.
You have nicer
you just
trolls.
try. Well, there's that.
Nicer trolls.
I don't answer the really bad ones because those ones are scary.
Yeah.
I told
But
one
those
dude,
are a lower percentage.
Nah, I told one dude, I was like, who in the Hulk do you think you talking to? I was like, yo, catch me in these streets, son. He was like, I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. I was like, yeah, you damn right you apologize. I'm the dude to tell you, look, I'm easy to find. I post my schedule everywhere. Come see me in these streets. And I'm looking at the camera. But, you know, I try to be nice and gentle
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, sometimes you can't.
I mean,
Sometimes,
sometimes you got to just tell people to kiss my
Yeah.
ass.
Sometimes you ignore. My favorite thing is the mute button because it
Right.
makes me happy to think that they will continue to yell
Oh, they
and
do.
scream and
You'll never
do
see
it.
it.
And I'm just like, la, la, la,
Yeah.
la, la, gonna get some coffee.
we also do focus on the negative ones more, right? Like, we get a lot of positive
We
comments.
do,
Oh,
which is
for
interesting.
sure.
that you-
Everybody's really, most people are very nice.
Which is interesting that you brought that up because I was actually thinking about this on the way in, and especially about the Collider Live audience. I think that yes, we get some hate. Yes, we get some trolls,
But,
but
we have baller fans. They're amazing.
Overwhelmingly.
They're amazing.
Oh, the
Yeah.
fans are dope when
They're
they're
dope.
thank you,
Yeah, I
baller
agree.
fans,
I love
tagging
them.
me on Twitter with great stories that I
Yes.
add to the rundown, posting really fun things in the Collider Live official Facebook group that
All
you can go
those
there and
memes
join.
they made.
The memes,
Yeah.
the deep thoughts is one of my
The
favorite
songs,
ones.
Oh, the
the
songs,
raps.
best.
I mean,
So-
they're awesome.
I did want to kind of say that and acknowledge that because especially when Christian's out this week, we're having a rotating kind of thing happening where the show's going on as normal, having a lot of fun.
Crazy
And
stuff is
Crazy
happening.
stuff is happening, and people are there to be there to say thank you or to send really nice well wishes, whatever it may be. I just want to say thank you.
I agree, but to bring it down again for
Oh
a second.
shit, Roxy.
God damn it, Roxy.
Because I need
Jesus,
to announce.
Roxy.
No, I need to announce this because I don't know if any of you guys know this, and
Okay.
I need you to know, Riley. I don't even know if you know this. I need to
You
announce
pregnant?
who our number one troll is.
Oh.
This is our number
We
one.
have a
troll.
number
We have
one
a number
troll.
one troll,
Wait a
and
minute.
he's very close by. And his name? No, it's not John Cena. It's not John Cena. His name is Cody. Do you know that Cody? yesterday, Mark.
Yeah.
Cody muted our mics.
I know.
For a solid 45 seconds.
I know he did.
During the show.
I know.
We had no idea.
And we had zero idea.
Josh was just talking, and Cody just muted us.
Yes.
Cody.
Cody way too much power
No.
behind
He
that.
is getting ready. He's like, I'm going away
Was
for
it
a few
during-
weeks to take care of the kid.
Was it during Bachelor Talk?
No.
Cody just
we're
cut to
doing
himself.
Kim Kardashian talk.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, you
much
know what,
better.
Cody? You are a saint and
And
a
a-
hero, and I congratulate you.
Cody
for
right now just cut to himself in the camera going,
Yeah.
Cody, what do you have to say for yourself?
Well, I just muted you guys twice while we were doing that.
oh, you are such
How
a
dare you? I was complimenting
I have no
you.
idea when I'm doing it. It's great. It's awesome.
It literally, I went to watch back that part because everybody was like time coding that. And I was like, what happened at this
Yeah.
part? I don't even remember what we were talking about. Just dead silence.
It's perfect.
dead silence.
I love
great.
it. And
Biggest
that
troll.
Cody and Alex in the booth. Thank you. Hi. So thank you for muting that conversation. I can't blame you really. I can't.
No.
It was
I
kind of
can't
fun.
blame them either.
It was kind of
I
fun.
mean, it's about the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Mute all of it.
No,
Yes,
I do
all
not
of it.
feel that way. I will say I've never watched an episode of the Kardashians. I've never watched any. I can't tell the difference between Kendall and Kylie.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I am a super fan of what they've been able to do. It is so mother effing impressive that if you do not think it's impressive the empire that they've built, then you are living under a rock. She's
I think they're super
Well,
smart.
Kris
I think
Jenner-
they're super
billionaire.
smart. Yeah. and-
Kris Jenner's an evil
billionaire.
genius. Kris Jenner is legitimately an evil genius.
Look, I
Genius.
think they're amazing business people.
Yes.
that,
Crazy.
that create products that can be both bad and good for the world.
Are we muted right now?
Do you guys
Probably
think
not.
that this matters? This conveison is
I'm
muted.
just saying.
Cody,
Yeah.
are we
It's not
muted
muted.
right now?
Are we muted?
You're good.
Okay, good.
SOS.
But don't you guys agree? I'm just saying they also do stupid things.
I am not saying
That's
they
not
don't.
great for the world.
They
will
know
say-
exactly. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, because it's just they just
And
care about
that
money,
is-
and that's
you can
it.
say
Yeah.
savvy businesswoman, savvy business plan. Great.
they-
That is true. I totally agree with you.
But they crushed Kanye.
Yeah.
They crushed.
No,
Kanye.
that's he had his own issues
No,
already.
listen,
That's-
I've known.
No,
I know
don't
Ye.
Yoko them.
I know Ye, and I understand Kanye has some issues. Kanye's always been a dude since in Chicago. We've always been the same dude. However, now again, when his mom passed, he took that hard. But Kim Kardashian changed him.
Oh boy.
I saw Kanye 3 days after his mom passed in concert. And
Really?
Oh my God. He was just, that was crazy to me, like, and so impressive. And when he came out and saying, "Hey, Mama," I was effing weeping.
that
That
would
makes
get
sense.
me. I don't care who you are, if you don't like them or whatever. If you see someone in pain, losing their family member,
And then still coming out.
and still coming out, I
Well, and-
respect
My
that.
mom had passed like a year or two prior to his mom passing, something like that. And when I heard his mom had passed, because I met Donda, she was a beautiful woman, and I already was sad. But then the radio started playing "Hey Mama," and
Yeah.
I was in the car back home. I was like, "Pull over!" I pulled over because I was in tears so hard. Like,
No, I get it. Look, but I mean, also related to that, it's that you can maybe not be a huge fan of somebody, but related to the shitty things that have been going on lately in the world, I think that we're all human and we're all feel pain and stress and we're scared all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe some people say they're not scared, which is great. Let me know how you do that because I don't know how you do that. But if you guys are in groups on the internet, in groups of people where you're actually seeing that other people are hating on other people, you might want to rethink that that's probably doesn't make you feel good.
Yeah.
So I hope that you guys, we're all alone here, and we're all trying not to feel lonely and angry. And so please just reach out to people that are not hating on other people. That's the better thing. You're going to feel better in the end.
I couldn't agree
So-
more, Dorina.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I always say, I don't care if you hate on The Last Jedi, if you hate
Right.
this movie, that movie, if you come at me with like something other than, hey, let's have a discussion, I don't agree with you here, or whatever it may be, I don't understand that. There is so much hate going on.
Yeah.
We talked about it on Monday just briefly. After that weekend we had, it was fucking awful. And all I want to do is try to have some fun, make people smile, and make people feel like there's a pocket of love out there that we can all have and have fun with.
No matter who you are or what you look like or where
Correct.
you're from.
that's what I say as being a stand-up. One of the most gratifying thing for me as a comedian is no matter how long I'm on the stage, whether it be 5 minutes to an hour, I can make you forget about all the bullshit you're going through in your life and in the world.
Right.
I can make you just laugh and forget about all that and forego all of that. And even take away some of the BS I'm going through. So I understand that completely.
It's a symbiotic relationship
Yeah.
if you let it.
Yes.
If you can accept somebody that has their opinion,
Yeah.
and you can either learn from that or disagree and then move on.
Yeah, just look at Josh McCouga and I.
Yeah,
We disagree
you
on
guys,
everything. We're
you
friends.
guys hated each other for so long. I mean that whole thing with the teepee and the houses and
He just kept showing up at my house. It was weird.
Is this a good or a bad
thing.
time to dick on my neighbor then? Like, is that not a good...
Go ahead. Dick.
I want to
Dick-
go there
Dickin' and
Love.
beer is always
because
good.
I had something that I have a story as well and I tried to do it through the hey, let's talk about this. But Roxy, you start, and then I'm going to have a story.
But also, like, ditto to what you guys said about
Yeah.
the love thing. Okay, now I'm...
But also,
now on to this
but now-
motherfucker.
but there's also assholes.
Yeah, okay. So here's the deal. I have been
You
in
sent
a,
email-
no, I've
you
sent
sent
pictures because here's why. I have been in a 6-month battle with the girl. There's
the shit,
two-
the
okay.
poop on the
this
thing.
is the poop
Poop in
on
the
the
pants?
things, the poop on the floors roommate. So there's on the property there's 2 houses.
Okay.
And we share trash bins,
Oh,
okay?
boy, here we
I
go.
live in one house and this girl lives in another house.
Okay.
And she has the right to the driveway. I park on the street, she parks in the driveway. So I get this novel of a text message from her last night after we've had this conversation 20 times. And she's like, "Hey, I noticed the trash cans are still in the street and I need you to start pulling your weight and bringing up the trash cans." And I said to her, when you park your car in the driveway, I cannot get the trash barrels past your car to where we put them. If you would like to park in the street for 1 day a week, I am happy to bring up the trash barrels every single week, but I physically can't get them. So I want you to look at these pictures. Look at where her car is parked, okay? This is where the car is parked.
Okay.
Now go to the trash barrel. Trash barrel size. Go back to the car is parked. Go back to the trash barrel.
So you're
Can
gonna
I squeeze that past? Go back to the car is parked. Go back to the trash barrel. So this is what. So I say this to her. She writes back
You're
to me.
like circling. The entrance is not big enough
Did
for
you show
the.
her these photos?
Yeah, she writes back to me saying, "How is it possible? I've lived there for years and nobody's ever had a problem with this except for you. I can bring up the trash barrels past my car, and so can every other person who's ever lived here. You can do it too." Yo, I'm not scratching your car. I don't know if you're a magician or a liar, but you cannot fit that fucking trash barrel in that space next to the car. I literally took a measuring stick. I was like, what does she want me to do? Lift it up and throw it the fuck over?
That's
like
pretty much.
It's so frustrating because it's like this is not an opinion thing. Like there's not enough motherfucking space.
I've
in the
never
street.
seen Roxy
This
this
is
upset.
amazing. You thought there were
I've
Riley
never-
rants?
Oh, wow.
There are Roxy
I just
rants,
wanted to-
and
This
watch
is
your
like-
fucking
look at
back.
the-
I
Look
just
at the
needed
barrel.
to see a
Look at
John
the
Madden
barrel.
telestrator right now.
Yeah.
It's like, this right here, this is the spot. This is the garbage can. This, I can't do this shit.
See, the
I can't
neighbor
do
parks
this.
his
always-
car right here, and you can
see
see that
that?
the opening is not big enough. So what Roxy's going to have to do is go around here on the flea flicker side and bring it on the right.
You've
Go to the
always
barrel.
reminded me
Go
of
to
a
the
young
barrel.
version of a Golden Girl, and that's basically Dorothy right there. That's
Barrel.
some Dorothy shit right
That's
there.
what I'm saying. Look at that size. Go back to the car.
Mother.
Barrel size.
Wow.
Do you guys see what I'm saying?
Wait,
though,
so
right?
what was the last? What happened? What's the
I said-
latest?
I
you
said
sent
to
her
her-
the photos, and what did she say?
She just literally said to me, "I guess I'll have to show you in person."
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she
So-
has like a crush on you or something.
Definitely not that. But she keeps doing this thing where she's like, "I guess I'll have to show you in person." Smiley face because you can't figure it out yourself. Smiley face, like
The thing that got me was the pulling your own weight.
pulling my
Yeah.
own weight on
Yeah,
it. And,
and
it's like I will do it every week. It's literally 20 feet to pull the barrels to the house.
Which-
It's
so
pretty.
short.
It's pretty amazing what people get upset at, though. Like at each other for, especially neighbors. Like what?
It sounds very passive aggressive to
It's
me.
not. It's like, that's what you're trying to get upset about. Like you that makes no sense. Like
Right.
what was her? What
I
was
felt
her? What must her life be like?
I was thinking your conversation was going to end with a bitch. I just felt like one way or another it was going to end
I'm
in that.
trying not to do that, because my brother was like, "You need to be like, stop being a fucking bitch. Look at here's the measuring
see?
tape. This doesn't work." And I'm like, "But I have to live next to this
Yeah,
person."
I respect. Yeah, I get that.
So if this was a one-time thing, fine. But like, I have to live there, and I was like, "Do I text my landlord? No, you don't want to be that rat." I legitimately said to her, "Fine, if you want to show me in person, then let's actually measure this shit." Because like, that's crazy.
You know she's
It's a
watching the show right now.
Crazy thing. She's
Cody,
not.
we have a caller?
She's
No,
not.
I'm kidding.
I wish. You guys see what I'm saying? I texted her too. I said, I myself, my little 5'3", 110 fucking pound self can barely walk between that space sometimes. Because
Right.
imagine if she pulls up a little more. I said, I literally, when I have luggage, I can't roll it through. I have to lift my luggage and fucking throw it into the lawn. Where the fuck am I putting the fucking trash can? It's
Dude,
so
Roxy's on
annoying.
fire.
I've
Ladies and
never
gentlemen, this is
seen
a-
her this upset.
Cody,
It's
you need
it.
amazing.
Cody, you need
But
a
also-
Like, I'm
thing that
sorry
goes
you're
up.
upset, but also I'm really entertained.
This is
so-
frustrating.
You need a thing that goes up and says "Angry White Woman Alert," "Angry White Woman Alert," "Angry White Woman Alert," because that's
This is-
exactly what this is. Angry
Roxy,
White Woman Alert.
this
I know I
sounds
shouldn't be
like
this mad about this stupid of a thing, especially with what we were just talking
I
about.
mean, how
but there's
strong you
something
got
about
You
it.
poked yourself in the chest so hard.
Listen.
My 5 foot. I'm like, goddamn, I heard the thud.
we're going to be
Just
breaking this
think-
down, though.
I'm
Listen,
bruised.
this sounds like this has been building. And
Oh,
I know
yeah.
you've been living with her, living at this location for a little bit of time, and you had to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
And so you had a thing there. And then, so I don't know if there's been anything in between that, but now
Oh, yeah,
we're
there's
dealing
been
with
a few things.
Okay,
There's been a
so
few
it
things.
sounds like it's been building.
Yeah.
And then when you
You
get
know
a
what
text.
else she did? You know what else she did?
Okay,
this
here
is
we are.
another thing
This
she
is
did.
what I
This
wanna
is
do.
another thing she did.
Angry White Woman Alert. Angry White Woman Alert.
I was waiting for a package and waiting for a package, and then the other day, she texted me and she was like, "Hey, just so you know, you got a package, so I brought it inside my place to keep it safe."
Okay, that's nice.
Okay.
Right?
No, it's not, because my place is safe. And I said, okay, I need to get it. And she said, well, I'm not home for the next 2 days.
How long have you lived there now?
She took my package into her home.
Wait, can she bring it to a safe space in your area?
She was there is no our areas are the same.
Okay.
I live in Beverly Hills. Who the hell is gonna take my package?
You'd be surprised,
You'd be
especially.
surprised.
Okay, that's
though.
fine, but we're
I live
gated
close
in.
to there, so I
We're-
could take it.
We're gated in.
You're gated. Okay.
There's no. I was like, what do you?
Trying to get all the facts.
It,
I mean,
it was.
Maybe
it was like-
she's bored. Maybe she needs a hobby.
Or
you
some
know?
dick.
The whole
It's
thing,
safe.
I just was like, you can't take
Or
my,
pussy.
you
Or some
can't
pussy,
take my
yes.
package
Your neighbor needs to get. Sound like your
Speaking
neighbor
of
needs to-
packages.
Right, your neighbor needs to get a package. Your neighbor needs to get fucked. It sounds
Does
like
she
Totally.
live by herself? Or
No.
Does she, okay, she lives with who?
That's what I said. Well, because the people just moved. I don't know whether they couldn't stand her or what. And she seems like a
she needed industrial grade
She
vibrator.
seems like a
Jesus
fine girl, but like
Christ.
don't take my package and bring it in your house and then
I'm
leave for 2 days.
I'm so lucky. My neighbors are never home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
I don't want to deal with
I
that
have a
shit.
lot
And
of
now we
neighbor
have Mark
problems.
Reilly's neighbor rant.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not. It's kind of not like
You should host
that,
tomorrow.
but it's well. I have a neighbor thing that ended in shit as well.
Oh, the dog neighbor thing?
The dog neighbor thing. We have patios. That's my next door neighbor. We live on the pool. It's a great little. It feels really nice to
a
have
nice
the pool
little- yes.
there. I can open the gate and walk out there. All this kind of stuff. But the gate, it's like that big, right? The bars that we open up, and she has a very tiny dog. So the other day, Leia woke up early and started
Mark's dog.
Yeah, barks at Mark's dog, barking outside. I go out and I look out the window, and that dog gets squeezed through and shit on the patio. On my patio.
your patio.
On my patio. And I was like,
It's like Roma, where like it shits on the bed.
yeah. And I was like, ah, fuck. Damn it. Okay, so dogs are dogs, right? I get it. The dog needed to shit. But what
But
I
he
don't
didn't
get.
clean it.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is just letting your dog out to just do their thing
Do
because
whatever.
that's what it felt like. So I wrote a very nice note. I got a piece of paper and I said I started with hi neighbor. Okay, I said I'm your next door neighbor, Mark. And what's that?
This sounds like all the pretentious notes that are left on somebody's windshield when
I
they
know.
park fucked up.
No. You tell me if I was pretentious
Okay.
and or mean or nasty.
Okay, go ahead.
I said, "Hi neighbor, my name is Mark. I live right next door. Unit blah blah blah. I noticed your little guy got out. He came onto my patio and did his business. I had to pick it up. No big deal. I'm a dog person as well. They do their thing. I just wanted you to know so that I don't want to have to clean it up again. And thank you very much. If you have any questions, just
You're
come
like
knock
the
door.
nicest person.
That's what I
That's
wanted
the
to do.
nicest- yeah, that's
not
right?
pretentious at
It was
all.
not okay. It was. I thought it was nice. Put it on their door. Okay. Door. The day
that
happens.
they bring
come
it
home.
back and they chat on the note.
Day's
No.
done, and we hear the front door to the next door neighbor slam like you wouldn't believe, like slammed, pissed off. And Julie looks at me and goes, "Was that our next door neighbor?" I go, "Yeah, they sound pissed." She goes, "Was it your note?" And I go, "I don't know. Are they pissed
What
at
if
us?"
you're like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and you actually wrote the note in an angry way, but you thought it was nice?
I should have taken a picture so I can
Yeah.
prove my point.
Yeah.
But I didn't take a picture.
Okay, but what's happened next?
I haven't heard anything.
I doubt that the door slam had to do with your nose.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm not gonna go there. I'm not
They
gonna
might
go
have
there.
had a bad day on top of that already.
Your guys' neighbor stories are funny.
So
'Cause-
yesterday, I wake up and I go out to the patio. There's no shit. And I go, okay, great. Perfect. I go drink my coffee. Leia comes. She's hanging out with me. All of a sudden, she starts barking.
Uh-oh.
And I look out the patio door. There's the dog. Dog's sniffing around the little area. And I open the door real quick. Get out. No. And it runs out. And I put something by the patio. So my point is, note didn't work. Dog's still running around. Haven't heard from the neighbor. Not a really big as you're dealing with,
No,
but
I get it.
thoughts to the table. What do I do next if this dog comes back?
Block out where the dog can come in.
That's what I
Just
did.
completely block out.
Just ignore it, move on with my life?
Because at this point, the neighbors just gonna keep letting the dog run around like they don't.
That's
give
what
a
I thought.
whole fuck. They like whatever.
It's not really a big controversial thing happening, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a,
It's a
like,
little
I
annoyance.
thought I had, the note and everything. I thought it'd be nice. Like, so sorry. I was expecting knock on the door. It's like, I'm so sorry.
Right.
It won't happen again. I didn't get anything. So
Man. See, when we were kids and I was living in Mexicali, people would just steal our shit, and we would have to go to their house and be like, "Hey, that's like our boiler
Jesus
thing."
Christ.
Are you trying to one up?
I
us?
can't-
Yeah,
What's
no, it's
happening?
just
You know what?
funny to hear what you guys are complaining
My
about.
story has
because
been
we got shit
stricken
stolen
from-
and we had to go get it from people.
Stricken
No,
from the record.
Yo, same. And also, I live downtown, and somebody got shot and killed outside of my apartment. So I totally understand.
I can
but
beat you on that one.
I'm
shit.
sure.
We got
I'm
my
sure.
God.
shot on
I'm-
my block
I'm sure.
repeatedly.
So I'm only saying that to say, obviously, they're bigger fucking neighbor
Right,
issues.
right.
I totally
Yes.
know. But it's like these are the paper cuts of life.
The paper that's stepping on a Lego.
Yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where you're just like, mother effer.
It's like it's not like
Too
life
big
and
of a
death,
deal,
too big
but
of a
it's
deal,
annoying.
but it's
Yeah.
annoying.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So let's do something else. Let's just look at a good story to cleanse everything right now to move forward in the show
Let's
as
do
a
it.
unit.
Let's do it.
Did you hear about Danny Trejo?
Yes.
Yes.
Saving the dog.
No, he
Saved
saved
a
a
child.
small
A
child.
baby. He saved a baby.
I put it in the rundown, guys. If we can bring up that link, I just want to give some props to Machete.
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 I'm in a movie with him. It's fine.
What's that?
Was he in the
He's in
Jason?
Madness
Oh,
in the
that's
Method,
awesome.
yeah.
That's
All right.
Yeah, Roxy.
He's a freaking hero.
He's-
He and another woman, they see this car overturned on the street in Sylmar. He climbs into the car to try to get the kid out, right? But the kid is in the seat, so he can't get it loose. Look, it's upside down.
Goddamn.
So what do? The woman looks at him and goes, you can do this. We need superpowers. We need superpowers to lift this car over. I shit you not. And he starts screaming together with the woman, superpowers, superpowers. They lift the car and pull the child free.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. He is a true hero. This
Well, they
guy
say-
is amazing.
Well, they say when people are in extreme situations,
Exactly.
you tap into a reserve level of adrenaline and
Right,
energy
right,
and
right.
strength that you never knew you had. So
We're not
You
gonna
turn
get
into
flagged if we have
Superman.
this
Yeah,
up,
you
right?
Or I guess he turned into Machete.
This is amazing.
I love that he's wearing
This
his taco Trejo's tacos.
Oh yeah, which are
Cat, by the way.
fantastic.
Which are delicious.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
We
delicious.
did. We stopped by at one of our taco crumbs.
Do you like
Was
it?
I there?
It was good.
I
I,
liked
mean,
it a
it's
lot.
not like my favorite, but it's good. Yeah.
I think he is the best dude. He
Yes.
is the nice, all the time nice, so kind. This is surprising in terms of the sense that somebody could physically do this, but not surprising in the sense that it's him. He's
Right, right.
awesome.
I'm surprised that he just didn't do it without like that little conjuring of wills over there. I mean,
Well, I
I
think it
thought
was to-
he's the kind of guy that I think flips
Well, I think it
over.
was to calm the lady down,
Right.
To say, because if she came running to him saying, you can do it, you have superpowers." So he's saying that to reassure her that he can do it.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing about that.
Here's what I don't like, though, and I question this reporting. Trejo and another bystander help rescue the child.
So in other
Is
words,
it
the bystander-
You're not a bystander. You help rescue the child.
You're just there, so you just like,
Bystander is somebody who watches and does nothing, is it
this
not?
is true. You just stand by.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he
That's
was.
very
Maybe
true,
maybe
yeah.
the person
Lifted
was
the
standing
car.
there and watching Machete lift the car.
Also, can we give her a name? Like she did.
Yeah, I know. We could have. Maybe she didn't
Trejo,
want, but you
other
know,
bystander.
to play devil's got. Maybe she didn't want her name out there.
Yeah, well, good for him. That's,
But we kind of got a bond. I kept facing him away from the accident. What was that about? So he was panic. He said he works with special needs children, so he knew how to keep the little boy calm. This is amazing.
That's cool, man.
So just a nice story that's out there. I love hearing these things. I mean, it's like Tom Cruise has like done that a million times. We've seen like who else was it doing? Like I think Chris
Harrison
Pine did.
Ford.
Harrison
There's
Ford.
been many times we've
There's
heard
been
about that.
many times that people are just kind of stepping in and doing their thing, and they have a name, so it brings a little bit of
Notoriety.
and people
notoriety.
do it. People do it more than you think. We just don't
Oh,
see it in the news
I'm
because
sure.
they're not celebrities.
Yep,
you know.
that's
so,
exactly what
but
it is.
there's a bunch of
They're
people doing stuff.
bystanders.
Yeah, exactly. Very nice bystanders that stand there and watch things happen.
So I just wanted to give a little shout out to
Yeah,
Danny
that's cool.
Trejo. That's pretty amazing. So we can switch to some
Machete,
news though.
don't
We should
fuss
bring him
around.
in.
You should bring him in.
We should bring him onto
I
the show.
believe I've tried to reach out for him
Really?
like about a year ago. Yeah, there was
Let's
something he
do
was
it.
promoting.
We
I don't know.
can eat tacos and
What?
stuff here. I'm down. He
Yeah.
can bring his. He
There
can
are a lot
cater
of
his tacos.
there are a
please.
lot of guests that I've tried to get that Wendy has tried to guest. Wendy, by the way, who I need to give a special shout out to, I've been meaning to do it, is such the best. She is the
She's
best.
such the
such
best.
I
She's
know.
the
I was
best.
like, I was
I
going to say
agree.
such a baller,
She's
and then
amazing.
I'm
I
like,
love her.
I don't,
She is a
I'm
baller.
white, and I don't
Super
want to
dope.
say that. She is amazing and is really
Wait,
when we get somebody.
Yeah,
we're
you
not going
can't
to
just
skip
move
over
by
that.
that.
We're
Why
not going to
can't
skip
you
over
say
that.
baller?
Why can't? Because you're white. You can't say such a baller.
You said it. I know. No, I'm being stupid. Who
no,
cares?
you're not.
I say baller all the time.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if I
but
can.
you look like you date ballers. So
Yeah.
I do?
yeah, you do. Like You got
Thank
that?
you. I date no one. I haven't had sex in a very long time.
Thank you, Cody.
Cody was
All
like,
right.
time to go to break.
We got to work on that.
Wendy, I'm going back to Wendy. Wendy is a baller. I'll say it then.
Wendy is a
She has
baller.
really, really helped. So when you see a lot of these guests, Wendy has been helping me like you wouldn't believe. I know I can count on her for anything. So just a special shout out.
She's
to
awesome. And
Wendy
she
Lee.
always has the most pleasant demeanor when you walk into the
She
office,
is
no matter
always
what's
smiling
happening.
Until
Right.
you cross her, and then she will kill you.
Yes.
And I respect that.
Which is why
Yes.
I like her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, I have a quick announcement from last week.
Do it.
Cody, can you please pull up the concert flyer, please? As you guys know, I am going, or if you watched last week, I'm going to
Yeah.
the Pasadena Daydream Festival, thanks to Golden Voice, and they have the coolest lineup. It's The Cure, the Pixies, the Deftones, Mogwai, Chelsea Wolf, Mogwai. Mambo! It's a super cool lineup, you guys. If you don't like any of those bands, I don't know what's wrong with you. Maybe you're young and you haven't heard them, but I'm going to go see them. I'm super excited. It's on August 31st at the Brookside at the Rose Bowl in
God.
Pasadena. And it's actually curated by the great Robert Smith from The Cure. And $1 of the proceeds is going to go to charity, you guys, to arts, specifically music and arts education organizations and local charities like Mr. Holland's Opus, Little Kids Rock, Free Arts for Abused Children. There's a ton of cool stuff that you get to go listen to music and dance with old people like me and actually do something good for charity. So please check that out.
Wait,
love
Dorina, I
that.
didn't know you were. So, are you involved with helping with the charity, or how? What's your?
I'm actually Golden Voice. I'm working with them to help them promote the event.
amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. So
These bands are dope.
yeah. No, I am super excited.
That's an amazing lineup, and
yeah.
I love the area. The Rose Bowl's always
Yeah.
so fun, and that whole area. I mean, obviously for like tailgates and whatnot when college football season's there, but for this,
Yeah.
It's super fun.
I
yeah.
wanna go.
It's
And
better
and
than
I've
getting drunk for charity. I love doing
There's
that.
There's nothing
that.
wrong with that at all.
You can do that here too. You can drink while you're watching.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, but I've seen the Cure and Pixies live, you guys, and they're amazing. They're so good.
yeah.
Have you ever seen Deftones?
No, I'm excited.
Wow, yeah, they're awesome.
What about Mogwai?
No, I'm super excited about Mogwai.
The only reason I know you wonder why can he do that so well.
Yes, that is what I was wondering.
I'm
How
gonna
you know?
tell a secret on Collider Live that very few people know.
Exclusive?
Well,
This is it.
This is
a
exclusive?
live morning show is where to give your secrets out. So
Yeah.
let's hear it.
As a kid, because I have a birthmark right here in the middle of my forehead, right?
Oh, yeah.
My aunt nicknamed
really-
me Gizmo. So after Gizmo, after the little Mogwai. So I always was been able to go, Mama Gizmo.
Oh,
My
that's
aunt-
cute.
I'm a grown ass man,
Yeah.
and my aunt still calls me and be like, "Hey, Giz," and I'll be like, "You need to stop that."
Nope.
So can you not
Never
eat
stop.
after midnight?
Oh, I can eat certain things after midnight.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well,
I know where that was going.
that would just. I did not expect that. Certain shit.
Roxy said-
Look, let me tell you something. If you are a man and you
She
do
just
not,
said she hasn't gotten laid in a while, and that did not. She didn't like that, Jay. So
let me
I
tell you
didn't
something.
dislike it. You know, like you do you, boo.
look.
It's definitely better than who the fuck was it that came out this year and was like, I do not. Do
DJ
that.
Khaled.
Yeah,
Let me
DJ
tell you
Khaled. It's
something.
like you can't just.
If you are a grown man, and if you're a grown man and you a heterosexual man and you don't eat pussy, your life is horrible. Let me tell you something. Vagina's delicious.
Oh,
Let me
boy,
tell you
here we
something.
are.
You
hey,
better-
dick is delicious for me, man.
Yeah,
I get
damn
it.
right. I eat
Yeah.
pussy like it's an Olympic event.
Yeah,
Let me tell you
good for
something.
you and her.
What does that mean? Like for a long time?
That means
or
goddamn.
quickly?
That means if I had to get a medal, I wouldn't get gold, silver, or bronze. I'd get platinum.
See, I would
Now,
think that
Oh, I
Olympic
just
event
thought-
would mean you have to do it as fast as you can.
I can do it fast and
Or
great as
you're
long.
just diving.
I'm a
Yeah.
long distance
We're
runner.
talking the
Diving.
500-yard dash
Oh,
here,
no.
or are we talking like
I'm a-
cross
I'm a
country?
cross-country pussy.
All
Let
right.
me tell you
Well,
something.
Jesus,
I-
here we are.
Javelin.
Let me tell you, javelin, discus, throw everything. This tongue touches the bottom of my chin for a reason. All right, next story.
All right, oral sex.
If you guys want to find Jay, he's
Check.
on Twitter. If you ladies.
Interesting that we went into that conversation off your plug for a music festival.
Yeah,
but,
'cause
that's
that's
beside the
what
That's
point.
normally what
there.
happens after
Yeah.
a music festival.
It's a
That-
great
that
place
happens.
to be.
Or
music
during at the
festivals.
porta potties.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God, no.
Or we're watching a
Not me.
Gotown project at Coachella.
Why
that
that
happened
can't-
too.
But not me. I just see it at the porta potties all the time. You guys ever never see that?
I have no.
I'm too distracted by everything else going on.
To be watching some head go down in the porta potty.
Yeah.
what
Coachella, oh
music?
my
fe-
God.
Yeah, well, okay.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. I've seen too much.
So you
I
look so
saw.
traumatized.
But that's what's the weirdest thing you've seen at a music festival?
Oh my! Well, I've taken a lot of acid at music festivals,
well,
so
there you
I
go.
can't be quite clear on which was what.
So she's like leprechauns.
So yeah,
I've seen leprechauns.
No, a lion.
She's like,
And you're like, real leprechauns? Pretty sure.
Thanos was there.
A lion,
Thanos was there.
A lion. The grass
Snapping
was
his
breathing.
fingers
The
while
sky
he
was
dancing.
purple.
The Thing was on stage. Talking about, it's clobbering time. Like, what?
Yeah. I turned into an elephant. It was
Yeah.
weird.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
So, any more oral sex talk, music festivals, porta potty sex?
Don't worry,
anything?
we'll bring it back. man.
Okay, so you want to go do some news?
Let's do
Let's
news.
do it.
All right, because there's
We're
actually
done with the
some.
nonsense.
We don't have to be.
No, that's
It's
okay.
kind of loosey goosey.
We can keep
We don't have a
moving.
guest today, which is kind of nice. We can just kind of,
Free flowed.
free flow this thing. We will take your calls later. I think we will do
Yes.
that and hear from you guys. You can talk about anything you want. Some of the news we're talking about. Ask us some questions. What is it like doing acid and seeing people have sex in a porta potty? That kind of stuff.
And now I can't be sure that was real.
It was real in your brain, Roxy.
I'm just kidding. I know it was. Yeah.
I feel like
You ever seen
I
people
feel
have,
like in that moment it's a David Lynch movie.
But have you
She's
ever
like
seen-
walking up to that and it's like Mulholland Drive.
have you ever seen
Damn.
somebody have sex and you just be like, this just don't look right?
Yeah, for sure.
Your,
just be
your
like-
twins peaked.
You're like,
Yeah. Have you ever
Right.
been having sex and you're like, this probably doesn't look right?
you like, shouldn't
There-
nobody be
Yeah.
filming this.
When
I
you-
used to
when-
sleep with one guy, and I used to always think this. I feel like this looks like a frog.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
like, have you
Frog
ever done it in front
situation.
of like a mirrored closet?
Yep.
Yes.
Because
That's
then
the
you
one-
see the weirdest thing.
You'd be
Yeah.
like,
It's not like American Psycho at all. I wanted to do that thing that Patrick Bateman does, where he like looks at the.
Oh, yeah, always,
It
yeah.
didn't
Looks
work.
looks at himself, and then I did it, and I didn't feel as cool.
yeah, because you don't like your faces you make during sex. You'd be like, oh, I look like
Yeah.
that? Never mind.
I gotta imagine it kind of looks like the reaction that my dog has when I'm doing. She's like,
Wait, that's what you look like, Riley?
No, that's what
other
she's
people
doing.
see?
She'd be like, is that the
when
style
she's
we do?
staring at us.
Is that the
and-
style they say we do?
And she like comes up and you're like, get out of here, get out of here.
oh, so she be
Why don't
nibbling
you
on your
guys
ass cheek.
close the door?
Because then she starts barking, she starts eating the,
Oh,
the,
man. So
the
it's like having a
door.
child that's
It really-
interrupting
No.
your sex life.
No.
Yeah.
No. I could not have sex with a dog in the room.
Yeah,
No.
it is a
No.
it
Because
is
he's
a
judging.
certain
Yeah.
thing that
It's
happens.
weird.
Cal was always like, all right.
That's
he would
what
just
that's
go to sleep.
happening,
Yeah, he
right,
would just
yeah.
be like, all
Oh
right,
my
they're
God.
doing
Well, that's
this.
because Leia's
And
new.
he'd walk.
so
Yeah, Leia's new,
So
so
she
she's
doesn't
like,
know.
Wait, that freaks me out. Why do
Why?
you do that?
So,
Ugh.
so then, like, maybe she
My
thinks
dog.
she wants to make sure you and Julie aren't fighting.
Yeah, because
Right.
when she hears Julie moaning potential, or you hollering, it's like just
both of us have tend to do it.
right,
Tend to
yeah,
moan.
just
yeah.
tend to
As it
moan.
should be.
She
Good
thinks
for
somebody's getting hurt, so she
Yeah.
wants to be protective. Yeah.
So it's
No.
it's an interesting
Or-
thing. Roxy, no, you want to?
No.
You know
want a
what's
dog
worse than
sit?
that? You know what's worse than that? Having your child walk in. When
No.
when my ex-wife, I'll never forget this. My ex-wife and I were together, and it was like in the afternoon in the summer. My son, he was like 2-3 years old. He was sleeping in his room. He was taking a nap. So of course, me and my ex-wife was like, "Yo, we got time. Let's do this."
Yeah.
We didn't close the door. We was like, "He's asleep. He got a fan on his room. He good." I'm handling business. We handling business. All of a sudden, out my peripheral, yeah, I know what I said, peripheral. I see my son walk in, turn around, walk out. I was like,
Did you say
damn.
How old was he?
He was 2
3.
going on 3. And all I remember doing, I got up, put some shorts on his shirt. I was like, Jalen, my son was under the covers.
Oh,
like,
no.
Oh, traumatized for
Oh.
life.
Wait, did you finish or you got up and stopped?
Oh, she was like, maybe we should stop. I was like, why? Like, this is where he came from.
He already saw it.
He already saw it. There's
Yeah.
no point. She was
Yeah.
like,
Sure.
nah.
You can talk to him about it later.
Have you guys all walked in on your parents?
Yes.
No,
Has that-
thankfully,
Yeah.
my parents are divorced, so I
My-
never got to see that. But somebody did call the cops on me and Brennan.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
That's
because,
hysterical.
Well, we forgot we left the window open.
Yeah.
And it was I'm older now. I don't know if it happens to older women. You tell me. But I have better orgasms now. Yay for me.
Yay for
and
you.
so the what's the
Orgasms
problem?
better.
But do you mean
As you get
better?
older.
Do you
Yeah,
mean
I'm
better
down-
and
going down the
louder?
list.
Is
Yes.
that the point?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so somebody, we basically heard a couple of cops outside our window saying, "Everything okay in there?"
Oh,
with like
Lord.
flashlights and stuff. And at some point, Brendan goes, yes, officer, everything's fine here. Like, it was like the Han Solo thing. How are you? You know?
We're all fine here
yeah,
now.
We're all fine
Thank
here
you.
now. Thank
How are you?
Yeah. And then the cop was just like, can we speak to your wife? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you having a good night? I'm like, I'm having a great night, officer.
You know what?
But
you know what?
You know what the issue was? I think somebody called for like maybe it was like a domestic violence scare.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
because I
right.
was apologizing a lot. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Anyways.
You know what the best thing?
Wait,
if
I don't
Britta
get
was
it.
like,
No, I'm not ready to move forward.
Can I talk to your wife? Her mouth's full right now. She's busy. Just because then you just be smart ass behind, just going.
You were saying I'm sorry, Dorina?
Well, you know, when you do BDSM stuff, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Right.
Oh, right. There we go.
A little bit of leather, a little bit of whips.
No, I got it immediately. Yeah.
You know, when I woke up this
it's
morning,
fun to switch it up to you guys, top or bottom, FYI. Anyways.
what
People
I
are
was
mad
going to
at me
say
now.
was is that when I
don't think
woke
people
up
are
this
mad at
morning,
You
You didn't expect this?
I was like, we're going to talk about Deadpool, and we're going to talk about
Well, let me ask
Benioff
So it's Collider
and
Live,
Weiss.
rated R or PG-13, you
It's
guys.
fucking rated R, obviously.
Mark, let me ask you this question though,
Sure.
because I've noticed this the last 2 weeks,
Okay.
and I'm wondering if this is a
Typo?
No,
Probably.
I'm wondering if this is a call from above or if you did this. It did used to say nonsense on here, and nonsense has been taken off of the official rundown.
Oh.
It literally said it forever since
Why
we
did you
started
take
the
it
show.
off?
Did somebody tell you to take off nonsense?
No,
or did-
God, no.
Okay, so you just decided to take off nonsense?
Aw.
I might have. I really have no good answer. It could have been just a day that I accidentally removed it
And never put it
and it's
back.
never been put back on. Because this is the most, I would say, attention a piece of paper that I put on the table here every day has gotten.
Aw.
It's thank you
Do
for
you
that.
feel
I'm
good?
kidding. No, I'm kidding.
I
You
mean,
guys
he
have-
knows.
I'm-
I look at the rundown
I know you do.
thoroughly.
It's an ongoing joke. You know?
Thoroughly. I miss drugs.
I did hear my
So
mom.
are you, wait,
That's a
are you like
soundbite.
not doing drugs
That's
or something?
sex. I
Are
miss
you not
drugs and
doing-
sex.
Look, I understand the not having sex part. That shit sucks. I've been at that way for like 2 years now. Now, however,
I think people would be happier
why-
if they had more sex.
I know I would. That's why I go to the gym a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I haven't had sex in 2 years, unfortunately.
2 years. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's why I go to the gym a lot.
That's so much time.
Man, I hope you find
it's gonna be me.
some good
I do
stuff
too.
soon.
Thank
Jesus,
you
I do.
for calling Lonely Without
Wait.
Sex here on NPR.
What are you gonna do?
I'm your host,
What do you mean? That's why
Mark
I'm in the
Reilly.
gym
Oh,
6
yes,
days
can
a
you
week.
But what are you gonna do?
Like, what's
Are
her
you
name?
looking-
Coast 103 or whatever.
Excuse me, I'm talking to my friend Jay here.
What
Okay.
happened? What happened?
Oh, I'm just trying to help him and
Oh.
get to the bottom of it, and mostly for me because I need to know there's hope out there in the world. What are you gonna do? Are you looking for somebody or no?
I
Or are you-
am.
Were you on purpose not sleeping with people for a while because like whatever?
Well, it
purposes?
was not at first. It wasn't no purpose. Now it was just like if it happens, it happens. I don't just actively go out searching for it because
Right.
I don't ever want to be that dude. You know what I'm
But
saying?
do you want like a partner, or
I
do
would
you
like.
want to
I would
just
like
date
to.
somebody?
I would like to date. I would like to have a partner. I'm open to different things right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But if it hasn't happened, so I'm like, you know what? I got all this other stuff I've just put my energy into, and
Right.
I buy a lot of lotion from Walmart. Now it's
Yeah.
just
Good for you,
get that.
because you gotta keep doing that.
So-
Because
Wow.
because
just
if not,
stay happy.
my brain would go crazy.
Yeah,
like,
same.
you ain't even bust. Like,
Same. I have a partner and I buy lotion. I get it.
But
Yeah.
God
Jay,
bless.
I feel like it's so exciting though because you've also lost like so much weight and you're in such great shape right now. Like the next time you have sex, I feel like it's gonna be so different.
oh, it's supposed to be. I'm gonna make sure before I do it, I'm gonna plug the dolphin. There's something about Mary quote right there, and
The reference wasn't lost on
I'm
me.
glad.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
but you know, I mean, like, I've never been that dude that's like, I'll go and try to.
Good one, Cody.
Imagine if he silenced us for the last 30 seconds. That's the only thing the audience
Yeah.
heard.
I expect you to make that noise.
Oh my God.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah,
a
it's
dolphin joke on stage, so. So it's like
What are you looking up, Cody?
That was me.
that was Roxy. That's why.
Are you serious? That was really good, Roxy.
Holy
You
shit.
fooled me.
That's why I do try to talk to women and stuff like that. I definitely
Yeah.
know how to approach women.
You're putting yourself
I
out
put
there, right?
myself out there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hello, this sexy smile is available.
Right.
You know, but things haven't come to fruition, so I'm not pushy on things.
No, I get that. That's just tough.
What about
Yeah.
you, Roxy? Are you looking to date somebody, or are you just kind of busy?
No,
and
I don't even know what the fuck to do. That's the truth.
Cue the dolphin noise.
And I feel like Julie and I aren't helping because we were at your birthday party with your friend and we were
they're
like,
shooing
who is
off
that?
all-
Who is that?
Yeah.
Who's that?
all
guy? We were
male
like,
suitors.
yeah, we're like, no, we got to protect Roxy. She's like, who is that? She's like, that's our friend. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Carry on.
Typical dad and mom.
Yeah.
They were awesome though.
Like Julie was like, who is that guy? I'm like, I want to make sure that
Oh,
he's
I
into
could see
It's a
Julie.
friend. Okay. Yeah, I
I
know.
could see
Yeah,
her.
they're
picking-
Julie can get a little,
Yeah,
a little sassy. I say she's entered the sassy zone, and it's not good
No,
sometimes.
it's amazing.
It is
I love
amazing
it.
until you're on the other end of it.
Oh, I guess I'll sit up now. I was taking
Good,
a quick
thank you.
cat nap.
Yeah.
But I just when
Good. I'm so glad we've kept you entertained, Roxy.
But answer me this, because when I was single,
Yeah.
I never wanted to have a boyfriend or husband.
Right.
I just
Until
wanted
it
to
happened.
have fun.
But then
you
you
know?
found the right guy.
Well, I mean, the right guy that we had the same priorities and
Yeah.
goals
I mean,
in life,
and I understand that.
and that's hard to find.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's the thing.
And also, I think the best way for me, at least, that's helped me to think about is that everything is temporary. So I never thought, okay, I'm gonna find this one person and like be with them till I die. I
Right.
think that's really hard to come by.
You think you guys will not be together till you die?
I mean, I hope we are. We're doing it until we can, right? But I don't.
Right.
But I think it's unrealistic to think of somebody that's going to satisfy all your needs forever. And also unfair kind of to
Yeah.
that person to either expect that from you and for you to expect that from the other person.
I mean,
So-
I think I know what you're saying because you're going into a relationship to give it work and
Exactly.
to make it work. And I learned the hard way. I got to a point where it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Had to get divorced. That's it. That's life.
Yeah,
And then
that's okay.
And
'cause-
that's okay.
Yeah, because you change as you grow as well.
You change as you grow, and I even noticed that as we're dating the wedding now, it's like it'll be 6 years that to the day. It looks like my wedding date is going to fall on my actual dating anniversary,
Wow.
so it'll be 6
crazy.
years. The day we get married, and I'm like, that is longer than my relationship and my marriage combined
Right.
from my previous relationship. I'm like, we got something.
'Cause there's
we're
no rush.
figuring it. There's no rush. We're figuring. I
Yeah,
even was
yeah.
talking to my dad about it. He's like, "Well, you've taken your time on this." I'm like, "I guess." It's just,
Yeah.
it was right. But in all the conversations leading up to that, it's like we're going to work on this. We're making a go at it to work on it. And Julie has always been somebody that looks at me and goes, "I will work with you."
Right.
That's what I needed to hear because I'd look back and
See,
go,
that's-
"I will
Yeah.
work with
I
you."
think that's
And
the
it's
one thing I do
whatever-
want.
Right.
Somebody that's like, I will work with you because I'm going to work with them. We're going to work together.
Exactly.
Right.
And like you just said, the expectations of putting everything on somebody and
Yeah.
somebody putting everything on you.
Right. And I've had that. And I didn't feel taken care of. I didn't
Right.
feel like it was like, no, you have to change. And it's like,
No.
can we work together? No. And it's so, however
That's
it may
not how
work
it
for you
works.
out there,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. No, and look, I mean, I'm obviously, you guys know I'm not in a traditional relationship.
Right.
But that's because we both want that. And that's how it works for us, right?
Right.
Because I think that you can have different connections with a lot of people because that just like I need my family and my friends, right? Like I can't just have this one person fulfill all my needs. So
Right.
what I'm saying is you guys can go have fun in bed with people. It doesn't mean you have to marry them.
Totally. It doesn't work for
I'm
me.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that just, and
exactly.
that's, it
Like
depends.
that's total. I have so many friends who are in similar situations to you, Dorina, or different situations, but not the same as me. And
Right.
like, I have explored my body enough to know that like I can't.
Right.
I literally can't figure it out physically.
So
when
you
I'm
have to
doing
be
that.
in a relationship.
No, I don't need to be in a relationship, but I need to feel something for somebody
Right.
in order
Right.
to like
I,
to orgasm.
I get that.
Well,
and-
no, and I get that. Like you're talking more about like one night stands and things like that.
yeah, they just don't work for me.
Yeah, no, I don't think they work for me either because
Really?
I mean, also we're girls and it's scary to have those.
Yeah, true.
But
true.
there's that. But in general, yeah, like you have to have some form of connection, to have the good.
And I
sex.
just haven't had that with somebody,
Yeah.
honestly. So I guess that's what I mean when I say I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
I'm just
Right,
here.
well,
I feel like shit
Just
happens.
here.
I feel that.
Shit happens though.
I'm
You
just
never
here.
know.
You
Sometimes
never-
they fall
I wasn't
on your lap.
I wasn't looking. I
In
was
your
I
lap.
was in the
Same.
middle of like, I'm gonna go on these apps and I'm gonna. Just,
Oh, I've deleted the fuck out of all of. I can't tell you how many times I've had those apps and then just been like, this is a total waste of time.
Yeah.
I did meet one person that is in this whole internet space with us
Yeah.
through the app. And then we were cool. We went on a couple of dates, and then that just fell apart. And I was
Yeah.
like, let me delete this again. And I
Yeah.
re-downloaded because I got bored. Then I deleted
What
it.
happened? Why did you guys fall apart?
Well, like I guess it was a connection, but then it was like both of us started getting busy, and I tried to make time to happen, and that person didn't. She didn't. So it was like, all right, it is.
Do we
what
know
it-
her?
Yes, you do.
Oh.
Yes, you do. And I will not tell you who it is on air.
No, I don't. I don't want you to.
That would be
and,
really rude.
Yeah, it would be rude. And
Yeah.
so we're gonna go to break right now, so Jay can tell us off air. I'm kidding. No, that's your business,
Yeah.
and it opens up a big thing that I
Yeah.
know and I see out there, and I know maybe you guys listening right now or watching us having problems meeting somebody. It happens.
And also, it's
Everybody.
hard.
Everybody.
It's even. I can't even imagine dating in the internet world because so many people just put up profiles of themselves that aren't necessarily
Them?
who they are.
Yes,
and people aren't honest, and that's hard to do.
And
How do you meet people that way?
I'm a product of that success because I did meet my fiance on a dating website.
Oh, so you did? That's
Yeah,
awesome. Okay.
and
what
we-
website was it?
It was Tinder.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
we met on Tinder, and a
My
lot
brother
of people
and his
So it
wife
does
also
happen.
met on a dating app.
did they? Yeah, and so thankfully everything she posted was correct, and everything I posted was correct, even to the point where I said in my dating profile I said,
Yeah.
and I love peanut M&Ms, and on my first date with her she had peanut M&Ms.
Oh.
She
So-
brought them for you?
She did.
That's
yeah.
really- that's
So
really
that was
motherfucking
like
cute.
that. Right? So
Imagine if she'd handed them to you and you've been like, I'm allergic to these.
I know. But she read my
What
profile.
if she got you the wrong M&Ms? That's the biggest thing.
Are
We
you
wouldn't
a-
be getting married.
Are you
I'll
a
tell you
diva?
that.
Did you ask her to separate the colors? Like you only
Yeah,
green
only
and
green
green.
one,
She,
yeah.
and she couldn't look me in the eyes.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why
We
Leia
went
keeps
to-
walking in the room.
yeah.
That's funny.
This has been Lonely and Sex here on NPR.
But I think
I'm
it's
your host.
the dating app thing. If it works for you, that's badass.
Yeah.
Like
It
how it
works-
worked for you guys. It worked for my brother and his
It
wife.
works
It's-
for some people, and it
That's
might
awesome.
not work for others.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was at a time where you talk about like, kind of lying on your profile and what you get. I walked into a date and I'm like, oh, those were some old pictures, I guess,
Aw.
because it just didn't match up, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. And we had a fun. And we
It's not
actually
really
had a fun
fine.
time.
You shouldn't do that to people.
These pictures,
Yeah.
these are the worst
Use
ones.
Tinder.
These are the worst ones because you like, where's the rest of you? And again, it's not being shallow, but it's when every picture is that it's a person's hiding something if they don't tell you. And it's like some people have expectations of things.
How to do the Tinder? Please help me, please. Some
Hey,
people
Cody,
use
I
it
have
for,
a question for you.
Oh man.
How would you handle if your kid walked in on you and your girl?
Oh, I don't want to think about that. There.
Oh, it's gonna happen, sir.
Ah.
It is going to happen. There's no avoiding it.
I'm gonna freeze and then pretend that he can't see us if we don't move.
You're like Drax. I'm
Cody,
invisible.
Cody, how did you guys meet?
We used to work together. Yeah, back in the old movie
Old-fashioned
theater
way.
days.
The old-fashioned way. I know. Is there still a stigma to the online dating?
At this point, I really don't think so.
I don't
I
think
think-
so
No.
either.
No.
Because I felt like,
Look, there's farmersonly.com. There's no stigma.
yeah, you're literally getting like. You're taking. I always say it's like you're getting a little bit of control over a situation.
Yeah.
Meaning, I got introduced via the internet to a really beautiful woman, and I was able to start talking to her. And I was like, that.
That's all, that you might have not gotten that opportunity
Right.
because of yeah.
and
that's
we
pretty cool.
talked
Yeah.
for a long time before we met in person.
I think the stigma that it was is that it eliminates the face-to-face interaction at first.
Right.
Because that's what everybody was like, well, you just don't meet anybody face-to-face.
Yeah.
And I get why, because back in the day, there was this thing in Chicago called the party line, and everybody met off that night. Don't get me wrong, my days when I was on the party line, I was fucking everything.
What's the party line?
It was basically a telephone chat line. It was
Okay.
basically a hotline. Like, basically, picture our live chat in the YouTube, but picture it as a phone. Like, you all leave
So you
messages.
call up saying, "Hey, I want to meet somebody,"
You just talk and everybody meet up and just conversations, and you make friends in groups like that.
and then you could say like, "Hey, you want to go out?"
Yeah, and a lot of
Isn't that
times that was
scary?
happening.
Great.
I mean, it would. You know what?
It's
It
the
was
same. I mean,
mid
it's-
'90s,
internet's scary,
late
too.
late '90s, early
It's just a
2000s.
phone, you don't see anybody. You don't know what they.
But you would have. This is what you would do. You would schedule to meet up in a like public spot,
Right.
and would say what each other is wearing. But you would sit from a distance so nobody could see you yet. And you see
Okay.
if that's the person or vice versa.
Yeah.
And so then you met up like that. Now, don't get me wrong. That's how I met a lot of the women I'd had sex with back. Jesus Christ, that number's long. But. 'cause
What number? The amount of women you've had sex with?
yeah.
What a way to phrase that.
Man, I was like, 'cause I thought about
Jesus
it.
Christ, that number's long. Good for you.
Well, because
So we don't feel as bad for your 2-year break then, Jay.
I feel bad as fuck for my 2-year break.
I don't
'cause-
feel bad anymore.
You should, because I lost an 8-year relationship, so I haven't had sex close to almost about 5 years. All right, so with everything, because even during a relationship. But nonetheless, you met people that way. And so then you had the evolution to the apps and whatnot, and even MySpace and stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Well, people are hooking up all over the
I
place.
met somebody on Black Planet. Now, y'all don't know
What
nothing
is
about
that?
Black Planet is something that was before Facebook, Twitter, and even it was during MySpace's early days.
Wow, like Friendster era.
Yeah, Solange just brought Black Planet back, so shouts out to Solange Knowles.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not invited.
No.
Oh no!
Do you want to go?
Let me tell you something. There are more
I've
white
been many
people.
times.
There are more non-black people on both Black Planet and BlackPeopleMeet.com than you could ever imagine.
Wait,
Same
whoa,
thing
whoa.
with JDate.
Go
we
back.
have tons of Christian people on
Yeah.
JDate. Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
so anybody can join those.
I'm not on
groups.
it, but that's how my brother met his wife, and it was like so many women that were not Jewish looking for a Jewish man.
Yeah.
But you can write what you're looking for. So there's an option there. It will be like, I don't know if this is the same on Black Planet, but for JDate, it will be like Jew looking for non-Jew,
Okay.
non-Jew looking for Jew, Jew only looking for Jew, Jew looking for somebody willing to convert, like shit like
right.
that.
Wow.
Yeah, Black People Meet has
That's
that. It's supposed to
fascinating.
be just for black people, but you have all different races that are on there. And people sometimes are like, yo, what the? That's the point of making this.
Yeah.
That it's supposed to be simple. Like there's a black people version of
Alex looking up Filipino
dating
dating
site.
site.
There's a black version of Tinder. It's called Soul Swipe.
Soul Swipe.
First of all, I thought that too when I heard it. I was like, what? We really had to go with that black Soul Swipe? Like, that's what it is? That's what we
It's
do?
great.
It's
Are you
Soul,
kidding
there
me?
is a black tip. It's
That's
called
pretty
Soul
funny.
Swipe. But again, there are a lot of non-black people on that. You'd be like, I get it. I could have just saw you on Bumble or some shit.
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
yeah.
Like,
Well, good, right?
yeah, I mean,
Everybody's
it's good.
invited to all
Yeah.
the apps, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find somebody and you'll be soul swiped.
I was just hoping on Twitter it happened. Somebody sliding these DMs. Like, yo, hey.
So if you want to slide into Jay's DMs,
He's
you can
at
follow
Jay
him.
Washington?
He's
At Mr. J. Washington.
at Mr. J.
like
Washington.
Because Jay Washington on Twitter and Instagram is a Filipino basketball player.
Do not slide into Roxy's DMs.
No.
No, I don't.
No.
So I've
No,
heard
I get it.
stories, and,
No,
and I get
no,
very.
Yeah, I can
I don't
understand that.
like it. I've heard stories about people sliding into Roxy's DMs, and it's like,
You can say thank you so much for a great show today, but don't
Yeah.
slide in with a picture of your penis asking to take me on a date.
same.
Yeah, how
I will
dudes do
never
that?
understand.
I don't.
That
I don't
thing
get it.
that guys do.
Who you
I
just
don't get-
unsolicitedly sending their dick like, how you doing? Hey! Like, that's supposed to just be like, I instantly want you.
Like, I don't know you. Why would I care about what your penis is?
And it's like it's just it's just there. It's
Yeah.
like it's not you're not getting a whole view unless
Yeah.
I don't know if you are, but
Yeah.
and it's just like it's like
And they're never flattering.
Do you think
like
it's
at
their
least use
penis
some
really,
good
though?
lighting?
I always wonder that.
Hey, if you this how you ask somebody if it's their dick, and you got a remote control next to you, yeah, go ahead and put them up side by side. Like a dude got a Comcast remote control
So
or a DirecTV
don't do
remote.
that, boys. Do not send unsolicited dick
Yeah,
pics.
don't
do
Only
it.
solicited, please.
I don't understand. Why don't you send how about send a nice comment?
Yeah.
You know, because that's gonna work a little bit better
Yeah.
than something
Better
it's
send some-
so out of
You better
context.
send some emojis. You better send a peach, a cat,
Also-
an eggplant, and some water.
Has that ever worked? Has there
I
been?
love
I don't know. I wonder that all the time.
Do you wonder that? I wonder this all the time. Where a woman
It had
goes,
to work. It had
"Oh
to
my
work."
God,
Yeah.
The thing
this is exactly what I was looking
But
for."
it had
That's
to
how
have worked.
Brendan and I met. I was like, he sent me his penis. I
Yeah.
licked my phone.
There
and
it
then
is.
we were
It
married.
had to work. It had to work because if it didn't,
Yeah.
if it didn't work at least once, nobody would ever do it. It had to have worked.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's
I
worked.
think about this every time, also, even like lesser extent, but you get catcalled. You know, you walk down the
yeah.
street
Yeah.
and somebody
Never.
shouts something. I'm like, I wonder if anybody's ever gotten it in because of that. Like, you shout at somebody and some woman was like, yes, I want to get in your car and bang you now,
So
please.
that is
I've answered that as a retort.
That
Be
is
like,
actually,
oh my God, oh my God, you think I'm hot?
That
They're
works.
like,
It
holy
actually
shit.
has. It
Can we
actually
t-
has.
Yeah,
I've seen
and
it
people
work
freak
in the
out
hood.
and it's funny.
I've seen it work in the hood a lot.
I've-
Like I've seen dudes be like, "What's up, shawty?" You know what I'm saying? Come here with your little thick ass. And she walks over to the car. Next thing you know, they gone. And now you see them as with kids. And you're like, well, damn. I've seen that numerous times.
I watched Julie and I were coming back from the movies, and a couple girls were walking by in the car next to me. The guys start catcalling them, and they're catcalling, and they're like, "Hey, back!" And then they literally get across the street, and the car cuts in front of me, and pulls over, and the girls walked right up and they had a conversation. I'm like,
Yep,
yeah,
I've
I wonder
seen
if
it,
that
yeah.
worked out. So drove off.
Hopefully they had fun.
Hopefully that, hopefully
Jesus.
they have fun, and hopefully we're going to go to break right now.
Yes.
It is.
And actually talk about movie news when we get
we
back.
will
I have
when
to
we
know
get
who
back.
Jay has been talking to. Like, that's
Yes, we're going to find that out right now.
fine.
And when we get
Oh,
back
you found that
from break, we're going to talk about Marvel not really knowing what to do with Deadpool in the MCU at this point. Plus, we got some news. Benioff and Weiss just, man, huge Netflix deal. We're going to get into that and a lot more on Collider Live. Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well, every Saturday and Sunday.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week, we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Hey guys, Perry Nemrov here to let you know that The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that Horrorville podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. We also have clips on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel, and on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the witching hour.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue Brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Perry here to let you know about the new edition of Collider Movie Talk. We are going to 5 days a week. We have a short, sweet 20-minute show where we focus on the two biggest stories of the day. You can expect to see all of your favorite Collider personalities on the show, including Jeff Snyder, John Roca, Haley Fouch. You're getting Josh McCouga every Friday. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be informative, fun. Come join us. 3 p.m. PT Live every single day of the week, right here on the Collider Video YouTube channel. You can also find the show on the Collider Movie Talk feed on our podcast network, so go watch, go listen, however you prefer to get all of your movie news.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, you know, if you've been watching us every week, you know we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh McCouga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel. And if you want to take us along with you in your ears, you can go and subscribe to the Collider Sports podcast feed.
Hey everyone, this is John
Roca.
Hey guys, it's Reilly here. Let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Reilly Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Christian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars, and if you want to catch our weekly show where we talk about the latest and greatest in Star Wars, it's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel, and you can listen, you can watch, you can do all of it. But if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out, and then after Episode 9, you got TV shows, so we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
We're back on Collider Live. It's Thursday, August 8th. Hope you enjoyed Lonely in Sex here on NPR. I'm your host, Mark Reilly. Are you lonely? Are you having sex? We're going to open up the phone lines and find out.
Do you like dolphins?
Do you like dolphin sex? That is a topic that we're going to get to. But instead, we're going to go into news. Thank you for that, Cody. Cody and Alex in the booth.
Favorite news soundbite.
They're doing some nonsense back there, I heard, and just love them for that.
Better
So
send
thank
me
you.
that photo, Cody and
No,
Alex.
Jesus Christ. Let's get away from dick pics and start talking about something.
Hey, it's a good segue to Deadpool, is all I'm saying.
It is a good segue to Deadpool, and I will get there, but I want to touch on this news real quick, which is, according to Deadline, Benioff and Weiss have just signed a huge deal, and I'm talking huge. Like, what was it they said? It was like 9-figure deal or something like that.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
like something insane to make shows, TV series, and movies over at Netflix. Now, Disney Plus and Amazon were in the hunt as well, trying to get them to come over.
Hey, Netflix was like, we're going to back this truck up.
Exactly. So Benioff and Weiss have gone there, and I can't believe that Disney Plus didn't snag them because they're doing their Star Wars movies over there. So I just find it interesting that they went with Netflix because Disney Plus is coming out. They're doing the Loki show. They're doing the Mandalorian. They're doing all the Marvel stuff. They're going to be creating. We heard Home Alone and Cheaper by the Dozen yesterday. Might be on there for reboots over at
Speaking
the
of
Disney
Home
Plus.
Alone, did you guys see Macaulay Culkin's tweet?
I did.
No, what'd he say?
That was pretty good. Can you pull it up, Alex?
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin said, "Here's the reboot," and it's like him on a couch with a computer, just sitting there, just being Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
This is what an updated Home Alone looks like.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
what's his name, Kevin?
He gets it. Macaulay
There it is.
Culkin kind of gets it. He's Home Alone 3, and he's just sitting there.
Yeah.
It's
So he's
down.
sitting there with like video games like probably there you go.
Yep. That's him, Home Alone.
My biggest worry is it's going to be like Home Alone 4, just with the Macaulay Culkin cameo.
Right.
That's all it's going to be, Home Alone 4.
But
So,
Benioff and Weiss are over at Netflix, and what I find interesting is that they tend to, I know it was based on the novels and everything with Game of Thrones, but maybe they'll be doing some, source material stuff. But I find it interesting that they didn't go to Disney, and I think, and I worry about Disney that they're just going to start creating a number of Marvel, Star Wars, back and forth, and there's nothing original anymore.
Or
because
the
they keep,
reboots, right?
Or
Yeah.
the reboots.
Yeah.
They keep remaking movies that are already there, and Netflix, what I want to hand it to them for is they are taking chances on original
Yeah.
stuff. And so I wonder if that has anything to do with Benioff and Weiss, because they're going into another big property with Star Wars, and I know they're going to do an original Star Wars idea. At least that's what the reports are saying. But I find that interesting
It's still
because it was
Star
something
Wars.
that came up to me. It's still Star Wars.
Are these simultaneously happening, Mark?
They are, yeah. They're going to be making their Star Wars movie now. I know it's crewing up. They're getting ready to do. It's
And
going to
this
be.
Netflix deal starts when?
That's a good question, actually. I don't think it says, but this is what Benioff and Weiss said. We had a beautiful run with HBO, more than a decade, and we're grateful to everyone there for always making it feel at home. Over the past few months, we've spent many hours talking to Cindy Holland and Peter Friedlander, as well as Ted Sarandos and Scott Stuber, who all run Netflix. We remember the same shots from the same 80s movies. We love the same books. We're excited about the same storytelling possibilities. Netflix has built something astounding and unprecedented, and we're honored to be invited to join them.
Well, that makes sense why they joined, because they found a bond.
Yes.
They
Right.
found a bond for what their vision could be of things they want to do. So So
agreed. It's just interesting with Warner Media putting out HBO Max and with all the Disney ties that they are not going with either of the places that they either have been or are going to be. They're going.
And again, the money may have been a factor as well, because again, you said
certainly was.
You said 9 figures with Netflix has been rolling out dough for everybody between Benioff and Weiss, Kenya Barris, Shonda Rhimes. These people have been getting dumb, crazy money deals out of them. And I don't think Disney, even though it's making this money hand over fist, was like, we're not going to pay that. Neither was Warner Media, like, we're not going to pay that. But Netflix was like, yo, we're going to get the creators of the showrunners from Game of Thrones. We're going to make sure we take care of them and compensate them well.
Did we get an actual number on this?
What their deal is?
Yeah.
It did deadline. Yeah, it's 9-figure range.
Right.
Like some other mega deals signed by the show creators like Shonda Rhimes, Ryan Murphy, each of whom also moved to Netflix. The deal for Benioff and Weiss, which we hear is for 5 years and worth as much as $300 million.
$60 million a year.
It was brokered by Gretchen Rush, their longtime attorney.
But do you think that, I mean, that's a creative control thing too, though, not just the money? Because if I'm them and I get to decide where I want to go, I'd rather go somewhere like that than Disney, because Disney's going to tell me how to do things.
I'm in right in this box, yeah.
Exactly, right? And that goes for a lot of things. Like, I mean, think about even just the networks that are still out there. Like, I can only think of FX as like, a network that actually lets you, do your thing.
Disney.
But
Yeah,
exactly,
that's a Disney.
right? So like, what's going to happen with that, right? Like, how many networks can we say that about that have enough money like Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix has the money, and maybe it was the money that did it, but it sounds like from their statement they found some kindred spirits in at least the storytelling they want to do.
That's the crazy thing about saying Netflix has money, even though you mentioned the deals and I mentioned them as well, because they recently reported operating at a loss.
I know. And Disney did the same thing.
It wasn't even a loss. They were like $30 billion in debt or something.
Yeah, it's like
I saw an interesting tweet that I wish I could remember the handle. It was just in my timeline that stuck out to me, because Disney also came out saying that they had a loss, but that was due to Fox.
Yeah, they knew Fox. They threw them under the bus. They was like, "Did you see Dark Phoenix? That's why this shit's like that."
And it's like they because everything started for Fox Disney deal in 2017. So at that point there was a different landscape over at Fox, a little bit.
Yeah,
they were coming off of maybe a few movies that didn't perform as well, but overall I think they were doing pretty well. The X-Men universe has done very well for Fox.
Logan is the best
Logan's
Marvel
the
movie.
best.
I don't care what people
but
say.
But also 2017, I mean, what was that? Apocalypse around that
the
time?
X-Men Apocalypse. Oh.
Yeah, which wasn't good, but it still performed better than Dark Phoenix.
Yes, it
but
did.
That's beside the point. Somebody on Twitter was like, isn't it interesting that all the deals we hear about, it's usually Disney for like movies, and then Netflix for like TV series, streaming, and now these big deals, but that they both reported loss. And a lot of people don't know what that looks like, because we just on the outside are like, Endgame, that biggest movie all time.
Right.
Beauty
So we don't
and the
look at the
Beast.
losses, yeah.
The Lion King and Aladdin both made $1 billion. So it's like when you hear a loss from Disney, you're like, what are they doing over there? But there's a lot more to that. There's ESPN, there's ABC, there's now Fox. So there's like, it's a conglomerate. But what is worrying me, and it's going to go into the next conversation with Deadpool, Benioff and Weiss are like, no, we're not going with Disney, and I respect that.
Just timeline-wise is what I'm confused about, because if you're making $60 million a year to be somewhere, then you would think that Netflix would not be okay with them taking time to go, produce a Star Wars movie.
And I understand it's not the same amount, but that's kind of the similar deal with James Gunn, how he's doing the Suicide Squad and going back to doing
Those
Guardians.
are different timelines.
Well, he's literally he has the script for Guardians already.
Yeah.
But now he's in production of
Suicide Squad, and then Guardians is taking place afterwards. That's why I'm
you're
curious
right,
about
you're right.
this.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah,
no,
you're
I
right.
get what you're saying, though, because like they've both been announced at the same time, which is why I'm wondering, does this Netflix deal not take place for 5 more years?
Well,
does this start immediately? When is his when are their trilogy slated to be?
2022, I believe, is the first movie that Disney dated for Star Wars.
So probably in 2020 they go into.
So it's probably like a 5-year plan for both things, right?
So
for
if they get
both situations,
maybe. But this 9-figure deal that they're getting, they're not pocketing between the two of them all of that. That's operating costs. They're going to have the development.
Also, isn't one of them like the kid of some Goldman Sachs kid? Like,
Something
don't they
like
have
that,
enough money?
It's not about that. It's more just about if I'm Netflix and I'm going to shell out 9 figures for people to be there, I'm not saying, oh, we want you to be here, but also why don't you go produce a trilogy at Disney while you're on our dime as well.
Well, I think the thing with that is it's a win-win for Netflix in a sense because you have them working at Disney. If what they're doing, they're Star Wars and working on a Mandalorian, if that stuff, well, not working on Mandalorian, excuse me, but working on different things like that. Once those pop, that brings the eyes over to Netflix to say, oh, well, they did this here. Let's see what they do there.
But time-wise, physically, when are they working on their Netflix stuff?
I mean, isn't it
We don't know.
like think
It doesn't say.
thinking
I've been
about it
looking.
in like a more basic example of like composer like a Hans Zimmer, working on multiple movies. Like I'm assuming that's just like
100%. But you're the producers
works.
of a trilogy for Star Wars.
Yeah, they're going to introduce their team to Netflix. They're going to introduce
that's what they're doing.
projects that they're going to work on, and they're probably. I mean, look.
So they're just the Helmers, but there's other people.
Yeah,
That
I'm
makes
sure
sense.
they
That
have
makes
their
sense.
lieutenants and their captains and their team that's going to continue business. Like you work on that one,
Delegating.
you're going to delegate exactly, and we're going to go do this. I mean, Jon Favreau was looking at dailies for The Lion King
While
while
he
he
was
was
doing
shooting
Mandalorian,
Mandalorian.
yeah.
So it's like these
Those are both Disney.
they're both Disney. I get it. So we don't know, but that's what I believe is going to happen. They're going to start developing their stuff. They're going to go shoot their movies. They look good on them.
What series would you guys like to see them helm over at Netflix? Even if it's not an original, even if it's not an IP that exists, what type of show do you want to see them do? Is it a fantasy? Do you want them to completely switch genres?
Well, you know what's interesting is that there's also a report out there. They got into some HBO did. They were going to make Confederate. Do you remember about this?
And everybody was like, no, the fuck you not.
Yeah, no, the fuck you're not. And HBO, since the Netflix deal happened, that project is dead now.
Right.
So could you see Confederate
it doesn't
going?
seem like a great idea.
It's not a great idea at all.
Yeah.
But
Where did that come from?
What?
Benioff and Weiss, like they
They pitched it to HBO.
Yeah.
So Kevin Wilmot, who's one of the Academy Award-winning screenwriters for Black Klansman, he also wrote Chirac. He created a movie. Damn right. A movie I'm with Wesley Snipes. We'll talk about him later. He wrote a movie called Confederate States of America. It's a movie that's been out. It's literally the same premise of what if the Confederacy won the Civil War.
Yeah.
So this isn't a new idea that they were doing.
No, but Benioff and Weiss pitched that to HBO.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. No.
I think it is. Yeah. Again, you pitch any weird thing and like HBO's like, oh, can it draw viewers?
No, I totally get. I'm
Them
surprised
two-
that
those
they
two-
would be as not with the times.
You are? Have you seen Game of Thrones?
Yes.
It's like, but that's. I mean, they're not the best at
I didn't feel
societal
that way.
stuff.
Yeah, I didn't feel that
You
way.
didn't? I know I did.
And I think the reason they were pitching that one was because of the time we're in currently. Because people have this whole theory of what if the South would have been in this situation,
Yeah.
So you bring a show idea like that to a network that's used to taking chances because HBO will do that.
Yeah, and I was looking to see if this was based on any source material, and in the original posting of this, it doesn't say. So they were just working on like Man in High. They liken it to the Man in High Castle.
Right.
Man in the High Castle.
Man in the High Castle. And
Which is
HBO
Amazon,
believed
right?
enough in
Yes.
Project and the showrunners to give the show a straight series order. Well, there was a lot of backlash, but long story short, it's dead. It's not happening now. This is according to today's reports.
But so your answer to what you would like to see them working on?
What I would like to see, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have an answer right
Is it
now.
a historical piece? Is it a drama? Do you want to see them work in the fantasy
I'm
realm?
glad they're doing Star Wars because that's what I ultimately want to see first, based on their Game of Thrones stuff.
But for Netflix.
For Netflix, I don't know. I would love an original series that I've yet to hear about, that I have no idea where they can, and probably a big world, a mythology behind it. I could see some fantasy. I would love to see maybe alternate reality stuff, not like Confederate, but like something along those lines where they have a big world, that there are a lot of characters. I don't care if it's fantasy. I don't care if it's sci-fi. Sci-fi, I think, would be fun.
I
but
want
again,
some
we're
action.
getting action. I
wonder
don't
what
really
they would
have
do
an
with like a more family-oriented.
family-oriented.
Stuff, like,
I mean,
because
they're gonna have to dial it down. They're going into Star Wars.
Kind of thing? Dorina?
Well, no, I just mean, did you guys? We were, when you play the Twitter games, when somebody's like, name like 5 movies
Oh,
that
I
are your
love that one,
favorite, right?
yeah.
So like somebody was asking your who would you like as a director to remake movies from the 80s?
Yeah, I saw that one.
And so that type of stuff is fun. And so I think about I was thinking about like, oh, what about like Guillermo del Toro for like Never Ending Story? So like there's like
Make
so I
Falcor kill
kinda-
people.
Now that
I
Dark
think that's
Crystal is coming,
perfect.
yeah. So like now that Dark Crystal is coming back, it'd be cool to get something like that for kids. You know what I mean? Like and I don't know if I've been doing like all adult type entertainment or adult oriented entertainment like Game of Thrones, it'd kind of be cool to switch it off and do something different.
Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't disagree.
Benioff and Weiss for Fraggle Rock. Done.
Mine looking at this
Come to
news
Fraggle Rock.
is that I want them to do original stuff because I feel like Netflix is taking more chances with that, which I
Right.
think ultimately, when we're going to shell out some money for all of these streaming services that we're ultimately going to have to do.
Yeah.
Right.
There's Amazon, and I'm hearing The Boys is like incredible.
It is
really
amazing.
great.
And I know, and
Excellent.
stuff like that, it like gets me excited where people are talking about it, and we've never heard. I know it's based on source material.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Garth Ennis property.
Right. So, and I know that comes with a lot of clout to it. I mean, you hear Garth Ennis, I know Preacher. So it's like, whoa. So there's something there. But Netflix seems to take chances more on original
Have
stuff.
you seen Love, Death, and Robots? That
No,
shit is,
I hear it's great.
Love, Death, and Robots on
Yes.
Netflix is amazing.
It looks
and that's
really good.
Fincher, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it is amazing.
So there's and Mindhunter is coming out, and I
Yeah.
love Mindhunter season 1, and David Fincher is doing season 2, and I know it's based on a John Douglas book about profiling serial killers, the hunt, and finding these people. That's
But you're
interesting.
saying that you want original stories, but then you're
But I know-
referencing IPs.
I'm referencing IPs, but that aren't really well known, not really
Not
in
like
the
the
public
big
conscious.
franchise, like
the
not,
big
not a Star
franchises.
Wars, basically. Yeah.
I didn't know Game of Thrones existed until
Right.
HBO came
Yeah,
out
that's
and made
true.
a show, and then tells me there was a book to it. And I
Yeah.
went, what? And read the book.
And then you found out so many people all of a sudden read the book. Everybody was like, I read
Right.
the book. I was like, wait, what? You've never talked about this
Right,
book.
But there are going to be people out there where they can announce something. Say Benioff and Weiss announces something, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, that sounds amazing!" And there's one person over there going, "I've been reading this series for years. I'm so glad it's happening." You're
Well,
going
that's
to
like
get that.
when Guardians of the Galaxy was announced, and there was like 15 people on the internet total being like, "This is my favorite property."
You're
I
always
knew it.
gonna
Or like
find that.
Thor.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew what the Guardians were. I was like, I knew of them. I, read the comics. I was like, they're literally going to make a movie with a talking raccoon and a talking tree.
And they did it.
But I
So
hope.
weird,
But
but they did it.
to your point, Roxy, yes, there are going to be IPs out there that they can adapt that maybe I've never heard of. But I hope there are times too where it's like, nope, I wrote a script. This is what I want to do, and I think Netflix of all of them seems more open to that.
What was
Yeah.
that IP that Netflix did that I absolutely loved this show? There was one season. I thought there was supposed to be a second season called like I Hate That I'm Dying or Dying.
There's-
It was a
Was it a
comic
show?
book. Yeah, it was a show. Do you guys know what I'm talking
know.
about?
I
it
don't
was
know.
so
And it was
not
Netflix?
talked about. It was Netflix. It was really good.
There was two that
look
I
it up.
loved. One was a movie. Let me look it up. But the one with Elijah Wood. Did you guys see that? And what's her name? Melanie Linsky.
Maniac?
No,
No,
that
that's a
was
good movie.
that's Jonah Hill.
that was
I don't
Emma
want to
Stone.
live in this world anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a good movie.
Oh, okay.
But then there's also the. Are you talking about the ones with the two teenage kids? Like
Yes,
the guy and the
yes,
girl.
yes.
Yeah. So that
What
one's
was
really.
that? It was really good.
it was.
End
like,
of the fucking world.
Yes.
yeah, end of the
exactly.
fucking world.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and that was
that
based off
on
of
anything?
Yes,
It's
it was.
really
but it was
good.
something that not nobody, but that I had never heard of.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
me either
there's-
until I saw the show.
Yeah, it
and
was
you're right.
really
It's a
good.
great show.
When they develop these things, there's twofold. It's like one, it's like kind of original. We want to introduce it to a larger audience,
Right.
but knowing that it's based on something, so they know that there is an audience, so they have a little bit of like. Because I heard that a lot when I was pitching a script that was completely original to mine. They're like, if you write the book, then
Yeah.
studios might be a little bit more. And I'm like, oh, I have to write the book now? I mean, no, this is a script right here. But I know that, when you
They're
have
more
an
prone to
IP,
that.
they're a little bit more prone because they know there is a built-in audience, to however big it
That's
is.
But
like
then
when-
look at something. Do you guys? I think I brought this up the other day. Do you guys watch Los Spooky?
I have not seen it.
No,
I've been
I know.
wanting to-
I'm sorry, say
Is
it
it good?
again.
Oh, Los Spooky.
It's on
I should
HBO.
I've never
Americanize
heard of
it.
that. Wait,
No, it's
where
a-
is that?
It's Fred Armisen
yeah.
on HBO.
No, it's
Wow, I
it's,
don't even-
it's
I've never heard of it.
really cool, and that's kind of. I mean, that's an original idea as well, but it's kind of based on like it has like a Ghostbusters vibe to it, right? It has
Yeah.
like a telenovela vibe to it, right? And so it's kind of like an amalgamation of all these things that we love already.
And that's how they pitch a lot of these things. Like you have a script and you go to a meeting and they'll be like, "Well, what is this?" And you try to tell the tagline or whatnot. And they're like, well, no, what can we reference this towards? Like, I'm working on a script right now that is literally Atlanta mixed with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Right.
There you go.
Two great shows. Yeah.
And it's interesting because there's another news article out there that Disney is taking interest in Children of Blood and Bone, which is a book series, young adult, kind of kids, and it might become a Lucasfilm project.
That has been a big thing. Young adult books have been lucrative.
The reason I bring this up again is that thank God Lucasfilm might do this, because all they've been doing is Star Wars and then Indiana Jones, and it's like we want more. As much as I want to see the next Star Wars movie and Indiana Jones, I want to shine a light on some of these things.
We did not put out the poll yet to say whether you like Star Wars or not.
Yeah, how dare you do that?
I don't know, but see, I don't really want to, get into my feelings about Star Wars. If only I had a show to talk about Star Wars, maybe that would help.
Then you'd be a nerd.
Okay, we have a caller coming in. Hi, you're on Rule of Two. Who do we got? Okay. But yeah, this is interesting. Children of Blood and Bone.
Meat.
What's that? Our porgs. Yes, they are. You can cook them and they're fucking delicious.
Yes.
Do people think porgs are not meat?
Some people do.
What do they think they are?
Porgs are like
They're
Cornish
birds.
hens.
Yeah, but that's meat.
Yeah.
A bird is meat. Well, I don't understand this.
It's meat. Chewbacca was going to eat that fucking pork.
That was a Cornish hen.
What's the alternative? Seriously, though, if they're not meat, what are people pitching they are?
No, I mean, they just don't want you to eat them.
Oh,
cute pets.
But they agree they're meat.
Yeah, they just don't want you to eat them.
Yeah, we're meat. I don't want us to eat meat.
Glazed
I don't.
Cornish
You
hens.
said you would eat us. So.
I definitely would. I'm saying I don't want you guys to eat meat.
Glazed Cornish hens.
We don't want to do that, Roxy. But yeah, so back to this. I think it's interesting that Lucasfilm was looking at this book series, that Netflix is bringing Benioff and Weiss over.
Right.
I'm hoping that just we get more good stuff than, and I know it's hard to say original when it's based on an IP, but I stand by my point that it's like, if we haven't heard of that IP, that's going to open up a new world for us.
Definitely.
And that it's not just Marvel, Star Wars, because one thing that worries me about Disney Plus, as much as I'm excited about a Loki and a Scarlet Witch and a...
That seems that's what all the content is.
If that's all you've got, sooner or later, the audience, I feel, will get bored and want more. And I don't want to, take away from the brand that's doing so well right now with Marvel and Star Wars. Yeah. But give us some more.
And I think that's the thing with a lot of companies, especially those that are making revenue like this, like a Disney is doing. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And they're showing that. Here comes Little Mermaid next.
And I understand, like you say, we want to see, because I'm one of those people, like, look, I love all the Marvel movies. I love what you're doing with the Marvel series on Disney Plus. However, there are other properties you can adapt. There are things you have writers and creators who've made shows, who have show ideas and film ideas that you have yet to even look at or hear from, because they're not on your radar as these big people that you think can make you money. But
I have such a good one.
What's the one?
No, I'm not telling you guys, but I just have a really good one.
Oh, I thought you...
Story idea?
Well,
No,
congratulations,
it's a script.
Roxy.
There it is.
It's a pilot, and it's really fucking good.
Good. And we need
I'm
that.
so happy for you.
And we need that. And over to
You want to
Lucasfilm.
read it? You'll love it.
If I can do. Yeah.
Lucasfilm's the same thing.
Should we
Disney,
pitch it?
it's like Lucasfilm, I get it. Star Wars and Indiana Jones are your bread and butter, but wouldn't it be nice to introduce the magic of Star Wars in a different title that would capture a whole new world? Maybe Children of Blood and
Star Wars
Children of Blood and Bone all of a sudden becomes somebody's Star Wars 5 years from now.
Yeah, that's
and then all of a sudden in 30 years it's like, I grew up with Children of Blood and Bone. It's like the more stories the better. So I hope, because I think sooner or later Disney and Lucasfilm, I'm already there. These remakes of the animated movies are boring to me. They're
completely agree.
They've become a thing
They
where it's
are
like
just
the Lion
cash
King.
grabs.
Give your people jobs, but make them do interesting things. Like, you have amazing artists that work for you. Like, you have an amazing cast and crew that you can hire for these things. Like, just make new shit. Like, we have all. If you look up 80s family movies, 90s movies, like, we grew up with so much cool stuff.
Yeah.
And now you're just
remaking
shrinking that list
they're
because you keep
remaking all of
remaking
them.
stuff.
And,
Exactly.
And as much as I loved, I
Give me
was
Song
in
of
the audience.
South, Disney.
I was in the audience. Circle of Life starts.
Don't put that out there.
Thank you. And I was hooked, and I had fun, and I'm sitting there going nostalgia and the music and everything, and then The Lion King ended, and I went, that was a really fun theatrical experience. I haven't thought about The Lion King since.
Yeah.
When we saw
Remember that movie? Remember The Lion King from 2019?
Yeah,
Nobody
and it was like...
I do.
Yeah, I just know when I heard "Can You Feel the Love Tonight" sung in the daytime, I was like, "Well, this is about it for me."
You didn't even have the Nala like sex
But you
eyes.
didn't- they took that away. It was like they're taking that away
They
completely.
took away Sassy Scar.
I did want to see Nala tell the other lionesses to get in formation. I felt like that would have been a treat.
That would have been amazing.
It would have been
That
just to
would've
have
been
Beyonce
amazing.
say "get in formation."
Yeah,
that was a missed opportunity.
Yo,
we're getting-
Aladdin was incredible, and you guys,
No.
and I think Aladdin was incredible. I really like Lion King. Dumbo wasn't great, but what I'm most excited for is to see now what they do with Mulan.
Mulan
Because
is
that
the
one
best
was
Mulan
test.
is
good.
interesting. Yeah.
Oh my God, you guys
Mulan-
back on my team.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
I'm
that
li-
one actually looks good.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you're gonna just like Lion King, it's a technical marvel.
Yeah,
it really
exactly.
is. But it
Great
is
job.
the movie. It's the animated movie, shot for shot.
Shot for shot.
Yeah.
And
Minus
not.
the Can You Feel the Love Tonight? It's in the
It's
daytime.
not shot for shot.
But
you didn't think so?
No.
the majority
it
of
was-
it.
the majority
hear-
of it.
It was not shot for shot. I will say it wasn't necessary to make.
Yeah,
Right.
it
Oh,
was,
no, absolutely
I thought
not.
it was boring.
But
as
I
fuck.
liked it.
Not to
Oh.
take away from the, like you said, the technical achievement.
It's a
so
technical
boring.
marvel.
Yeah, that's it.
And
yeah.
I love Donald Glover.
And they're
He's great.
he's great. No, there was great performances
Yeah.
across the board. I
Minus
love the
James,
music.
I didn't like James Earl Jones in it. And I understand he's still alive, but he could not
How
deliver
dare you, sir.
No, because he could not deliver the same impact and the force and the power that he
Because
had.
he's older.
Right.
Yeah.
With that being said, you could have literally cast him as the same. You could, credited him as Mustafa and took his animated voice.
Mustafa.
Mufasa's Mustafa.
That's from the Grand Budapest Hotel.
You know, that's a black
Yeah.
thing. But you could have taken his voice from the animated movie and literally put those lines into the live action.
What's
Yeah.
a black thing?
I don't know. I just felt like saying
Oh, I was like, what's Mustasa then?
no Mustafa.
Mustafa. No. Yeah, isn't that Mr. Mustafa in Grand Budapest Hotel? I feel like that's a character.
I've never seen it.
feel
but
like it.
anyway.
But you get what I'm saying though with James Earl Jones, like
Yeah.
like when he was like, "Is that a challenge?" If you saw it in live action, it didn't have that power to it as it does in the
I
animated
blame the movie more so than the
Yeah.
acting.
But
So,
to your point, Mulan looks
yes.
very
Bomb.
different.
Amazing.
Looks awesome.
It's the first.
Cinderella's my actual favorite of all the remakes because it was different.
Exactly. Do
wasn't-
it different.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, then
like
If
do
you're
it
going to
different.
bring
Brandy one.
something to, I understand that there's an audience for it that remembers those movies, but I like it when they do something different. And I feel like Disney, if you don't like find new ideas to create, something years later that you're going to want to remake,
What
then
do you call
gotta,
Pixar?
Pixar is completely original stories.
Right.
They have been doing it from day one.
Right.
So
how is
that's
that?
And
Disney. I get
that's
what
what
you're
I
saying.
love. But
Although they do keep doing their
That is
sequels
Disney
too,
making
though, right?
that
So
is
there's
ma-
that.
that is Disney making ideas that people are going to want to remake in decades from now.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say Pixar is Disney, but I kind of look at Pixar as kind
say
of
it 'cause
doing.
it is.
It is, but Pixar's doing something very interesting where they seem like they're on their like. It's almost like, no, Disney, we got this. You distribute our movies. And I know they made a deal. That's how it was at first. They had a distribution deal with Disney, and then around Finding Nemo time, Disney bought them. And so, because they were making so much money and because they
Well,
were
look
doing
at-
their ideas.
Dude.
So I still see them as a little autonomous, but I know they answer to the overlord that is the mouse.
Which is why they do sequels. But
Which is
look
why
at
they do
what
sequels.
they did with Coco.
Coco, Inside
Amazing.
Out, Up. These are all like completely
Yeah.
like when I saw the preview for Up, I'm like, it's a movie about a guy making balloons in a
Yeah.
house. Like you couldn't have. For me, that was a genius, original idea that I didn't know how it was going to work. It's one of my favorite Pixar movies.
Agreed.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
So good, man. Wally.
No.
But all this
So
Disney
good.
talk.
You don't like Wally?
Wally's okay for me. Wally.
Yeah, it's just
Wally.
okay.
Yeah.
I love Wally.
Over the years, Wally, there's some wonderful moments, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't put it up there as one of my favorite
Well,
Pixar
no,
movies.
but it's good. I'm just saying it's like a really
Oh,
good
yeah.
original
Of
idea
course it is.
compared to all the other ones.
But that gets to our main topic here,
Wally.
Deadpool. And what's going
Deadpool.
on. This is now Disney. We're staying in that conversation. And this is what worries me about Deadpool is that it will ultimately become PG-13. Now, I do believe you can make it work. I believe there are storytelling elements in Deadpool that he can break the fourth wall and try to curse. And it's
He gets
beeped out.
bleeped or
And
something,
he
yeah.
says, oh, man, that's what happens when you get bought by Disney.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can address it that way. But what worries me is that it's what everybody thinks is going to happen, and that it will happen,
Right.
and that instead
And that'll
of
be
doing,
the fifth wall.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because then we come
Yep.
up with it, and that's not as fun.
right.
And another
Yeah.
wall, another wall.
But what worries me is that what Fox was doing was Deadpool seemed separate from their X-Men universe. I know there was a cameo in Deadpool 2. You can argue canon all you want, but it seemed very separate from. It was their own universe, so that we could get it R-rated, we could get it a little bloody and disgusting, and we could get some cursing on it. Now, by this report, David Leitch was talking to Yahoo, and he basically said they're trying to figure it out. Let me pull up the article. Actually,
I just think it's interesting that they're debating or whatever's being debated, if they are debating the fact that it should be PG-13 or rated R, because the first movie was so successful that what is the real reason into expanding
family.
it for? I know, no, I understand. Is it just more money? Like that's literally it? Because
you get more. You can get more butts in the seat if it's PG-13.
I know,
Well,
but
also,
it's
sorry about that.
okay.
It's to incorporate him into the MCU because of what the MCU has already been. We're going on 25 films after next year. It'll be like 25, 26 films in. And so now when you put him into that, what's already been established, yeah, you have a bit of violence. Yeah, you have the action. You don't have that language, which Deadpool is predicated on. You don't have the violence level that Deadpool is predicated on.
And I'm not so much about the violence, but I do want to see my International Women's Day jokes.
Right.
And so that's the problem that I have with Disney, is that they're very anti-sex. It's just for some reason they think sex is bad, and it's not. Sex is great as long as it's safe and consensual.
Right.
And so that pisses me off. Like that's like that. Why would?
Well, there are two things here.
Although they did show Captain America's butt in Endgame. To be fair,
to say America's ass.
I get that the MCU is established. It has a certain tone. There are certain things that we expect for it. And if somebody comes in and drops an F-bomb, that would be, oh, wow, look at Marvel.
Yeah.
So I get that. But why can't Deadpool just exist under the Disney banner and do it as it's because R-rated and Disney can't do
or
that?
Maybe
Iger said at one point, we know Deadpool. He's working. We're going to figure this out. But here's what David Leitch says. It's rated R, so that's not necessarily the MCU brand. But he doesn't necessarily need to be R, and Disney doesn't necessarily need to only make PG-13 movies. I think we'll find a happy ground.
I mean, sorry, really quick, Roxy. I think the best result for this would be for them to keep a Deadpool movie rated R, but then when he shows up in an MCU movie, like that's not his movie, then make that PG-13.
So that's exactly what I was just going to say.
Perfect.
Because I'm a rated R person,
right?
Yeah.
And I can go into situations that are not rated R and not be rated R. So it's exactly the same thing. I think that this has nothing to do, but I don't think this is about money actually, though, as much as it is about brand. They don't know if they want an R-rated movie attached to the brand.
Yes.
Because what that does for, I guess, ultimately money, because in the long run, not money on the specific movie, but for the future of the industry and their title and whatnot. But I do think that it's stupid to make this movie a Deadpool standalone movie, a PG-13 movie, because it will limit the creative ability that they have, and it's working the way that it is. And with this character specifically, he really does need it in his own movie.
Yes, and
that's what Marvel Knights is for.
Exactly, and you look at it's not working. This thing made the first Deadpool and the second one, I think, in the 700 million range of worldwide. That's a lot of money. That's what some of the MCU movies do.
Yeah.
And the Deadpool movies are doing better than some of the MCU movies in box office alone. So don't fix what's not broke.
Yeah, and I mean, and also all of
I know.
our.
That's what I was trying to remember. I was trying to find it. Don't broke what's not fixed.
It. Yeah.
Here's what David Leitch also said. There's a lot of mystery still surrounding what they want to do with Deadpool in Disney's Marvel world, but I think from discussions that I've heard, it's all positive, he explains. I think that they're just trying to figure a way in as Deadpool is hard.
Hey.
He said words. I just think make a Deadpool movie like they did with Fox. It didn't necessarily connect to the X-Men universe that was already going on.
Right.
Just let Marvel Studios have it and just say, Marvel Studios, do this. Let it be. Like you just said, when he comes into the Avengers or the Guardians or anything like that, he has to be PG-13 with a hard reference. He doesn't have to swear as much. But let him be. Can
you picture Deadpool walking into a scene with, let's say Deadpool walked in on the scene on Infinity War where Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man were all hanging out and talking. And Deadpool walks in and goes, "What are you fucking assholes doing?" And it's bleeped. He goes, oh, that's right. I'm in a Disney movie. Okay, hey, guys. And it just goes from there.
I
love that idea.
I believe he would have gave us the no shit Sherlock line.
Yeah.
to Doctor Strange and Tony Stark. If you looked at it, Tony Stark was still around. He gave him no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah.
I know.
Is the question?
I'm just sad him and Spider-Man can't flirt because Spider-Man's still a kid.
Yep. But as Dorina said before we started recording, once he turns 18, he's legal.
Yeah.
And Disney ain't touching that.
They are not going to touch it.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's to the integrity of the character. Do we I don't think we need to change it. And
So would Sony have that Spider-Man do that though? Because remember, Spider-Man's technically a Sony property. Yeah, Marvel's borrowing him.
Right.
So let's just say the next Spider-Man movie, the Spider-Man 3 one, you can technically ask Deadpool to come over.
Sure.
And do something. Do you think Sony would allow it? Because remember, we got to fuck in Venom.
Yeah.
We got to fuck in Venom.
Yeah.
So, you think Sony would allow that Deadpool to come over and have some flirtatious joke with Peter Parker?
I don't know.
I don't know.
have no idea.
I think that's too much now. I think Spider-Man is a.
I think it's too much.
It's too much. The Spider-Man deal was legendary, obviously, and it I think is the outlier. I think it's just because Sony's property wasn't doing too well after Amazing Spider-Man 2. I read some article the other day, Marvel had been pitching this for a while. Then the Sony hack happened. Those emails came out that they were talking about it. The fans went nuts. Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't do very well, so then they started playing ball. I don't think Sony needs Deadpool.
No, I
don't
think
think
Sony needs to just keep doing their animation stuff. I think they need to keep doing more Spider-Verses like that. That has nothing. You don't need the sex and violence there. You just need to do that wonderful work of art that you did.
But we've heard from Disney, and everybody brought up Hollywood Pictures and Touchstone were movies like Touchstone.
Roger Rabbit was
Roger
Touchstone.
Rabbit.
Remember, Disney had Miramax when Pulp Fiction came out.
Disney had Miramax. Disney had Touchstone. Touchstone did Pretty Woman. That was back in the day. That's a little bit of there wasn't a lot of, gratuitous scenes or anything, but that was a story about a guy and a hooker, and Disney was behind that.
Scandalous.
Scandalous. So why can't we have?
What?
I don't like that.
You don't like Pretty Woman?
I don't.
Dorina's mentions are about to get flared up.
I think it's boring. Is that bad?
No, it's not
Yes.
bad. Everybody has their own taste, but I can't believe you think it's boring of all the things.
Wow.
I don't know. I love the actors. I just think it's boring.
I'm not.
To each their own, dude.
Is anybody really shocked though? I'm not. I'm not shocked. I know you like your different movies, and I know it's like Queen of Darkness.
No, but I like some rom-coms. That's just not my jam.
When Harry Met Sally.
Exactly.
Do you like When Harry Met
500 Days of Summer?
500 Days of Summer.
I like that movie too.
Those are great movies.
I don't know if I call 500 Days of Summer a rom-com anymore.
It's more like a comedy. What is it then?
It's kind of a rom-dram.
Yeah. But it's also funny.
It tells you
There's
that.
a dance
tells
piece
you,
in it.
It tells you right at the beginning.
But
this is not a love story.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that
Me
about that
too.
movie
Yeah.
because
So
when they
good.
said it in the theater when I was sitting there, I went, okay, this is my type of movie.
It's great.
It's almost like that'd be almost like calling Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind a rom-com.
That's
Right.
a great movie.
It's an excellent movie. I love it. One of my
So
favorite.
much.
But
I just saw John Bryan, the composer,
The composer, yeah.
at the Largo.
And Frankenweenie.
If you are in Los Angeles, he's playing at the end of the month. Every month.
What?
And he's so good. He plays requests from the audience, but then he also plays his score. So he played Eternal Sunshine on my birthday, and I was freaking out. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
Well,
anyways, shall we take some calls? What time
We
is
will
it?
take some calls. I want to put let's put a pin in it after just any last thoughts on this Deadpool thing. I think we feel like we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
To everybody, if we will open the phone lines if you want to talk about this. I think they can make Deadpool work. I think they just do what Fox has been doing. Make your damn movie with Deadpool. Curse, violence, blood, guts, what have you. That's what I want, and I hope they figure it out. Yeah? Oh, good. Everybody.
And pegging.
I'm so glad. And pegging. All right, Cody, open the phone lines. Why don't we do that? And we'll take your guys' call. Oh, do we already have a phone call? Well, hello there. You're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, everybody, it's me, Jonathan Peck from Alexandria, Virginia.
Hi.
Hey, Jonathan. How are you?
Very good, very good.
And what do we got for us today? What's going on?
Okay, before I get to my main question, I just want to say thank you to Dorina for speaking out of that beautiful speech you got there earlier at the show. Just want to say thank you.
Oh,
It's nice.
That's really nice.
thank you, man.
I'm glad I helped with that.
So what's your question, Jed?
It's more of sort of a casting news.
Okay.
I was originally going to cast yesterday, but there's a lot of casting news right here. I just want to talk about the recent castings of yesterday of Coming to America too.
Oh yeah.
Yes, no, I'm glad you brought it up because we
Yeah.
didn't really touch on it.
That's exciting.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes was added, which that's your boy there, Jay.
Yeah.
and I
Jay
love
finally
that.
stopped doodling his
I
SpongeBob
love Wesley
SquarePants.
Snipes. I love Wesley Snipes is joining this, and then Jeff Snyder actually had an exclusive over at Collider where they're adding singer
Tiana Taylor.
Where's she from?
She's a singer.
Oh, she's a
And she
singer.
now has a reality show with her husband, Amon Shumpert, on VH1.
comedian Michael Blackson.
You mother sucker.
Okay, we have Arsenio Hall reprising his role.
Wow.
James Earl Jones, Paula Bates are returning. Leslie Jones is also signed on. Kiki Lane, Rick Ross, and Jermaine Fowler.
Damn.
This
all
cast
playing
is
and
dope.
Louis Anderson is returning
Is
as
he?
well.
I want to know: is he on Fries? That's the only. He has to be just on Fries.
He is. I don't think he's left.
You don't think he's?
I don't think he's left Fries because he talked about
Well,
that
he
big
was doing
plan.
lettuce because he was doing lettuce at first. Now he's.
Oh,
gotta be
you know
on,
what? No, that's the joke. He's going to be on
He's got to be
burgers.
On,
somewhere.
yeah, he's got to move up.
So we have all the cast lists. So do you have more to add? Did you have your thoughts on there, Jonathan, about the cast list? You left them. Okay.
Cody always.
That's
hang up.
okay.
Cody was over it.
But what do you guys think about the casting? Are you surprised by anything? Are you excited? Wesley Snipes. I hear there's going to be like some, like a part where he's like a guerrilla warfare, like a
general almost.
A general
from Zamunda.
Yeah, from Zamunda. Yeah.
Hey, I'm for it. The fact you brought back that cast, I like this casting announcement. Tiana Taylor has been wanting to get in acting more often. Michael Blackson, his whole role isn't African, so for him to be somebody in this role with Eddie Murphy being an African, king, and Jermaine Fowler, I'm assuming playing his son. So it'll be interesting to see what that happens. You got Paul Bates back. If he doesn't sing "She's Your Queen to Be," this movie is dead to me.
I know, right?
This movie is
I
dead
love that
to
he's
me.
coming back. I just saw the scene last night where Paul Bates shows up and Simi opens up the door. Arsenio Hall goes, "Ah!"
No, that's James Earl Jones. That's James Earl Jones when he opens the door first. He sees him.
Oh, then yeah.
And then slams the door. King Joffrey Jafar, ruler of Zamunda.
It's weird that like this is one of those few reboots that I'm actually like, oh, that sounds cool because of how long ago was
It's not
that?
a
Similar,
it's a sequel.
Or
It's a
sequel.
sequel.
Sorry, it's reboot in the sense that they're bringing back the
Sure.
property.
I get you saying,
right,
okay.
right.
But
so,
but here's the question: we had that with Dumb and Dumber, right?
That
Years
didn't
later,
work out as well.
Anchorman 2, not as
different,
loved.
whole different ball game for a reason.
Do you think this has a better chance?
Yes,
Yeah,
I do.
I
Okay,
do.
tell me
Because
why.
Eddie would not attach himself to it if it didn't have a
Yeah.
chance. Eddie's been shying away. Remember, last thing Eddie was doing was like family films and whatnot.
Like the Haunted Mansion movie
Yeah.
and weird shit like that.
He
yeah.
was not doing it. He would not do this. He would not come back to this particular property if it was not going to be done right. Him and Arsenio.
Right.
It's not just him.
I think that it has a chance because A, the story lends itself better for it,
Right.
and B, all the announcements they've made have been exciting. Like the other things going into them, it was like there were some iffy stuff going on around it. I mean, like even take a Ghostbusters for example, where there's a lot of talk about different things happening beforehand. But this, I'm so excited. I would be pretty surprised if this wasn't awesome.
Yeah, everything is shaping up that way. I love that Craig Brewer's coming on to direct this thing and get something different. So thank you for that call, Jonathan, even though Cody hung up on you.
Yeah, we're sorry.
That was our fault, though. Oh, we got another call. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Cody. Thank you, Cody. Okay, we'll
Thank you,
take it from here.
Cody.
Hey, you're on Collider Live. Thank you, Cody.
Yeah.
Who do we got?
Hey, this is Nick from Pittsburgh.
Hi,
Hey,
Nick.
Nick.
Oh
Hey, Nick.
no!
I know. Josh isn't here.
Coog is not here.
Yeah, poor
Of all the days.
Cougs. Thanks, Nick, for
Cougs
calling
just
anyway.
sat up on the plane somewhere and he went,
Yeah.
somebody from Pittsburgh is calling in.
Yeah, and he's not even listening.
He's not even
He
listening.
just knew. He sensed it.
Well, thank you for calling in from Pittsburgh. We will represent somehow for Josh McCouga. What's your question today?
So I was wondering what you guys thought. I don't know if you saw the news. It came out about last Friday that the Dune movie, which was slated for November 2020, it was moved to December 18th, 2020, which is going up against the Tom Holland Uncharted movie
Right.
and Steven Spielberg's West Side Story.
Right. I'm not too concerned.
I'll be watching Dune easily. Yeah, I don't care about the other ones.
Dune's casting has been one of the most epic casts that has been announced in the last 5 years. It's just been insane. The things that are coming out about this movie look so dope that I'm not surprised that they're trying to make that push. Maybe they need a little more time. Maybe they just thought this was a better date for them. But either way, the decisions they've made so far have been smart. So I think this is okay. I will be watching West Side Story.
You'll be watching West Side Story. You know what we've learned, though, is that The Last Jedi came out in 2017, and everybody said it's going to destroy Jumanji.
Right.
That didn't happen.
Right. No.
A year later, or a couple years later, we get Bumblebee, Mary Poppins Returns, Aquaman.
All these during Christmas.
All these movies, Spider-Verse. And various degrees of success there. Obviously, Aquaman shot through the roof. Mary Poppins Return did very well. Bumblebee, I think, was the one that really suffered the most because I don't think it didn't have Transformers on it.
Well, it was marketed differently.
It was marketed differently,
incorrectly.
But
that was the one about the bees, right?
It was the one about the
and
bees,
the Bumbles, the dating app,
right? The Bumble.
They met on Bumble.
They met on Bumble.
It was all swipe left the whole film.
So we've seen that it can no soul swipe. We've seen that it can work. So I'm not too worried. I think. Personally, I'm a Dune guy. I've read the books. I can't wait. You know that. But so if you tell me that West Side Story, Uncharted, and Dune are all in the same theater, and what am I picking that day? It's going to be Dune. And then the next day I'm going back to see West Side Story, and then maybe the next day I'm going back to see Uncharted.
The thing about, I love musicals, but the West Side Story thing is I always get iffy because they hire actors that are not actual Broadway singers. So it'll be fine, but it'll be auto-tune, and it won't be like...
No, do you know how they found Maria?
No. Oh, I just know
she's
the
unknown,
main guy.
and she's a theater.
Yeah, he's okay. He's not like the best singer.
They found Maria singing in a high school.
Oh, so she's an actual singer.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then that interests me then.
And Coming to America.
Oh, there you
Look
go.
Look at that.
Well, that's the one I'm going to see first and foremost. I'm just letting you know.
I want to see all of those.
I'm just excited that Dune is in December because if you want to compare it to something that didn't do as well that should have, the sequel to Blade Runner, right? When was that released? Like in the summer, spring, or whatever?
It was like spring.
Yeah.
Because I was back at home in Chicago when I saw it.
I thought it was October.
It was October.
It's the same director. So
can you go back to that list of movies? Did that say Cruella was coming out then?
Yeah.
A
week later.
What do we know about that movie?
Wait, when
Emma Stone is playing Cruella. I guess it's her rise. Here, have a pen, Dorina. I just threw it at you. I know. I don't know why. Emma Stone is playing a young Cruella or something, and Craig Gillespie is
on Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson? What? Emma Thompson's in it?
Yeah, I haven't heard jack crap about this.
Yeah, and I know Paul Walter, what is that? Hauser was just cast, so I could care less about this Cruella movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Can you guys go to the IMDb
Mark
of
Reilly
Cruella?
hates Cruella.
I have to. I got to see a trailer. I mean, I love Emma Stone. I love Emma Thompson, but I don't give a shit about a young Cruella DeVille. It just doesn't interest me. But hey. Disney's doing something different.
It could be good.
At least
a live-action prequel feature film following a young Cruella DeVille. Wow.
I mean, it's just the idea of like this woman's gonna grow up to want to kill puppies.
But
also, it's like Maleficent, where they just change the story, right? Yeah. So you never know what they'll do with it.
So by the end of this movie, Corella's not gonna want to kill puppies and make a coat.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 30 Dalmatians only.
Okay.
Maybe she'll marry the Joker.
Maybe she'll marry the Joker. Yeah.
Jay, that was not your best.
All right, we have another.
That was a terrible one.
Guys, we have a call coming in. Hi, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, you guys, Morgan from Puerto Rico. How you guys doing?
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
All right. Thanks for calling in. What's your question today?
Can I say something real quick in Spanish? It's for Dorina.
Oh, yeah, please,
por
favor.
Dorina, de verdad, estoy súper agradecido que tengamos una representación latina. De verdad, estoy súper orgulloso de ti. Gracias por ser la persona como eres. De verdad que gracias, porque eso significa mucho para personas como yo, que pues somos de Puerto Rico, pero de verdad estás representando a los latinos. Y de verdad que eso significa mucho.
Ay, qué lindo, me vas a hacer llorar. No, la verdad, me han dicho mucha gente de hispanos que les gusta que estoy en el programa y espero representarlos. Disculpen si no represento a todos, pero me encanta escuchar que los hispanos son fans de Collider porque me encanta trabajar con mis amigos. Así que muchísimas gracias y vivan los hispanos y también los gringos.
Exacto.
I caught most of that.
my
I'm
question-
excited.
I love that happened.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
I didn't understand a thing, but I love
Just
that it
about
happened.
representation and that she's the
Yeah.
best and that
Good.
she's happy to do it.
And that's why she got teary-eyed on Ross.
Yeah, like, oh.
Yeah, it was very sweet. It was very sweet.
Good job, Rox.
So
Thank
my
you.
question is basically, what is your most underrated Disney movie that you really want to like? If they do a live action, because for me, one of the most underrated Disney movies ever is Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
That's a
not
good one.
alone, my friend. I've seen a lot of people put that out there, like wanting a live action.
Song
I've seen
of the
Atlantis
South.
Atlantis
Song
as
of
well.
the South.
Stop pitching that.
I
Song
I
of the
just want to.
South.
I want Disney. Only reason I bring it up because I want Disney to acknowledge that film exists.
Oh my
because
God.
they
You
try
want them to acknowledge it by remaking it?
to say just
Bury it. Burn
I
it.
actually
Have a bonfire.
That's a good point. No, Treasure Planet's a good one. I am a huge fan of Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yes,
And
me too.
I love that movie so much, and I actually got to see a very quick stint on off Broadway that Disney put together with the choir, and it was beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
because the soundtrack is so good, and they actually made it a little bit more adult. So they got rid of the gargoyles, and it wasn't so much family oriented.
Oh.
So it was closer to the book. So it'd be cool, just like we're seeing Mulan be different that way. It'd be cool if they brought that back and on a darker tone. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Great
that
pick.
makes
Yeah.
total
Completely
sense.
agree. I was Esmeralda for like 7 Halloweens.
I
There you go.
I loved her.
Damn, you really love her. She's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, she's
but
amazing.
isn't Josh Gad doing it though? I heard something
Yeah,
about that.
he is.
Is
Yeah.
Josh Gad a part of every project that's been announced for the
Yes.
next 5 years?
He's in that. He's in
Pretty
that
much.
Disney family. They love him.
I heard he was the
He's
penguin
amazing.
too, or no, he wants to be
He
the penguin.
wants to be the
He was
penguin.
sharing all those images.
Well, that's Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and that is Warner Brothers. So for an underrated Disney movie, if it's animated, I say Tarzan. I
Nice.
love Tarzan. I love Phil Collins' score and the songs, and I would go the Mulan route too, and make it a little bit dark, make it a little bit like Legend of Greystoke kind of. I'll touch on that. That was scary.
Make a
Did that
scary
scare the shit out of you?
jungle. Yeah, of
Scary
course.
jungle. Maybe try to infuse some of Phil Collins' songs because it does work as kind of a score. Like Tarzan isn't like singing. He's just
Yeah.
kind of like it's great songs. So that's mine. But if there's an old Disney movie that I could see really working with a reboot or a remake, it's Black Hole.
Oh wow.
Do you remember those
I
robots?
used to love that music.
I love that movie. That came out right around the time I was really into Star Wars,
Yeah.
and it had a Star Wars kind of look and feel
Yeah.
that I remember as a kid that I think could work with a remake.
Yeah, that was one of those weird movies set in space that was scary that I couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
Just a reminder to everybody, let's go over the ones that have been announced so far. Maleficent, obviously, people know that's been announced. Lady and the Tramp coming
Disney
big
Plus.
date,
That's Disney
November,
Plus.
November 12th, 2019. Mulan, March 27th, 2020. Cruella, which we just spoke about in December of 2020. Sword and Stone, Little Mermaid, Hunchback, Lilo and Stitch.
I'm so mad about that
the
one.
Untitled,
So mad about
the
that.
Untitled Jungle Book sequel, Pinocchio, Rose Red, and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs are all to be announced when, but those
What's
are all
Rose
projects.
Red?
I didn't know Lilo and
Well,
Stitch.
according
That's
to this,
crazy.
is based off the.
You would have to
the-
think it's a sleeping.
What?
No, it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs too.
Yeah, they're both.
Rose.
Yeah,
You know what would be another
Yeah,
good
yeah.
one?
Why do we need two then?
that's.
We
You know-
don't.
You know what would be another good one is the Black Cauldron.
Black Cauldron.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
think
a good
Christian
one.
said. What the is Rose Red?
Yeah.
Clearly, I mean, all it says is
Yeah,
based
I
on-
see it says Snow White and the Seven
Yeah, that's what I'm
Dwarfs.
saying.
I just also see Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is listed right after
Maybe it's
that.
her sister. Maybe it's like Wizard of Oz where they have like 4 witches. And this is,
What do you
instead
keep
of Snow White,
circling,
it's Rose
Alex?
Red.
What are you circling? I get that it's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Do you understand that?
Jesus, Cody.
We can keep circling.
Jesus, Cody.
TBA to be
Alex
announced.
is like, Roxy, read the Wikipedia that I'm putting in.
I feel incredibly nervous about Lilo and Stitch. I feel
Yes, me too.
Yes,
I
that
feel
movie's perfect.
slightly
Yeah.
less nervous, but quite nervous about Pinocchio, considering there's some iffy things that go on in that movie as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I love that movie.
I love that movie
it
as
messed
well.
me up, but I love it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it could be interesting though, seeing somebody turn from wood into a boy.
I mean, they're
Live
Or into a
action.
donkey.
The animation would be nice
Yeah.
with that.
the effects are going to be off the hook on that one.
Off the chain.
Yeah. Lilo and Stitch.
Well, I can't wait to see that the technical marvel as
That
the
is a
child
Pinocchio.
turns from a wood child to a boy. It's
For
gonna
an
be really interesting.
old man.
Even more so when they turn into donkeys. That's going to be some shithouse great CGI.
And this
my
is the guy who
God.
wouldn't say baller.
That whale
You
monster
know what?
is
Sometimes,
baller.
sometimes up here, it's just me wandering
That's
around
funny.
in a desert, so that's fine. They're going to remake everything, so we're going to get more. We're going to get
They're
the
gonna remake
Rescuers.
Collider Live.
We're gonna-
Disney's gonna buy us.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. Okay.
You said that to some title.
Because they already pay us a lot of money to like their movies. So why are they going to? Why are they going to
Daily.
buy us? That would be stupid.
Thank you, Disney.
Well, thank you very much for that call and for what you guys talked about. I think it was awesome what he
We're
said.
just talking
It looks,
shit about you
Yeah,
guys.
so much
you know?
shit.
Yeah.
I figured. So if we get another call, we'll take it. Not right now.
Oh yeah. I turned it off because I thought we were wrapping up.
Cody's like, we are done with this show today.
That one's on me.
We could have done one more, but Cody, he's twitchy at that.
He's decided.
He's
Should I see
ready.
if there's a tweet?
Nah, we're gonna wrap up the show right now.
Wait.
But what?
Wait.
Oh.
You're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
We have a call, Mark.
You're closing. Thank you, Cody.
Thank you,
We're
Cody.
closing out the show with you. How are you? What's your question?
Hey guys, this is Scott from Tennessee.
Hey, Scott
Hello,
from
Scott.
Tennessee. What's your question?
Scotty
Hey,
doesn't
I was wondering,
know.
I guess this is for everybody, but I guess mainly for Roxy because it is a TV question.
Nice.
I was wondering if anyone is a Veronica Mars fan,
Ooh.
and if so, if you've seen the new season, because without spoiling anything, a lot of people are talking about how it ended.
Really?
No and no, which is shocking considering it's everything that I love and more.
Yeah.
So you would think that I would have seen it, but it was one of those kind of similar to Firefly that once it had already ended and I knew it wasn't going to be coming back or figured it wouldn't be, I wasn't going to go back and binge something even though it had such a cult following. But then this just kept being the gift that kept on giving between the movies and then
Right.
coming back for this. So now I feel like I do need to go back to OG and watch Veronica Mars. But I have been seeing some stuff online. Is there something specific about the ending you want to talk about?
That one wasn't me. His signal broke up on that.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that because we do have to wrap it up. But before we
It
go,
was still Cody.
Yeah.
I know
it was
was
Cody.
Yeah.
But
it
yeah,
was
I haven't seen Veronica Mars
He's
either.
already
I've never.
muted the mics. Actually, he already ended the show. We're
the
just
end of the
still
show. We're just
here.
talking in the ether. Well, before we go though, Jay, please, I want to plug your new comedy show that's coming up.
Yeah, I'm doing my 1 hour comedy special in Los Angeles on
Nice.
August 29th at Catch One Underground, 4067 West Pico Boulevard. I will be doing an hour on stage and bringing along Jasmine Carter, Terrence Washington, no relation, Michelle Stevenson. Who else? A couple of radio personalities, and it's going to be great. It's Catch One Underground. You get the tickets at www.shptickets.com. It is also my birthday bash. My birthday is
Ooh.
August 25th, and so we're celebrating my birthday.
It's my birthday.
Damn right. So we're celebrating my birthday after the show and whatnot. So come out to that, please. Come support. I appreciate the love, and also if you want to see me wrestle, I'm back in the ring this Saturday in Long Beach. I'll have all the
Nice.
information on my Twitter and my Instagram.
Can you dress as a dolphin when you wrestle?
What is SHP?
So Sean Healy Presents is the promotion company that does it, and they do they do Mark Ellis's shows. So I've done the shows with Mark, and the guys are like, hey, we would like to produce a show for you, and so I'm grateful for them for that. So yeah, August 29th, please come out. And
Where
see
do they
me.
get tickets?
shptickets.com. shptickets.com.
And
SHP
also remember
tickets.
August 31st, if you are not at the Schmodown in New York, I will be at the Pasadena Daydream Festival, so get your tickets and come dance with me.
There you go. And
Bless
with
you.
that, God bless you, Roxy Striar. That is the show
Please
today
let it be
for a
so.
Thursday, August 8th, 2019. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. For Dorina, for Jay Washington and Roxy Striar, Cody and Alex in the booth, I'm Mark Reilly. Thanks for having me today on Collider Live. We'll see you on an all-new show tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST. See you then.
Jesus.